Just can't take this damn parade. Who cares? Yo, there's a 2-mile wait to get past the damn green line.
Anyone who gets hit by a bear in the neighborhood, call Joe Murray.
I happen to trust Joe Murray.
First time I ever met Joe Murray was at a hoop.
Welcome in 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Another full show tonight. We're awaiting the playoffs. It all begins on Saturday night right here on 98.5 The Sports Hub when the Bruins and Toronto Maple Leafs meet in Game 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And then Sunday afternoon here on the Sports Hub, the Celtics begin their quest to another banner here in town when they open up against someone, either Chicago or Miami, who were without two of their better players. Things are turning up green. We'll get into that tonight here on the show. We will preview Toronto and Boston as well. The Red Sox played earlier today. We'll react to that. But biggest story here is we're officially 1 week away from the NFL draft. All this time, one more week to go. And my leadoff thought is, I still don't think they know what they're doing. They still don't know what they're doing. And as you heard there in the opener, Elliott Wolf made one thing clear today. They're open for business. I'm open for business here till 11 o'clock tonight. Skaz as well. Ryan Bell's here. We're open for business at 617-779-0985. We're on YouTube. What's up, fam? You can chat in tonight. I've noticed a lot of people have been watching from their televisions at home. You can just download the app, watch it right from your television. I don't know if you can tweet, if you can still join the chat or whatever, but you can do that on your phone or on your iPad or whatever, and feel free to send in your info tonight. So again, we are open for business along with the New England Patriots, who are open to anything, says Elliott Wolf. He had his pre-draft meeting today, and they still have their number 3 overall pick. Asked about what he plans to do, or what the Patriots plan to do with the number 3 overall pick. Moving up, moving down, we're open for business in the first round and in every round. Went on to say we have some holes we feel like we need to fill in the draft. And we're at the draft and develop team. We're a draft and development team. I had the quote, draft and develop. They're a draft and development team. That's what they said. So, if you're getting excited about someone immediately coming into the team and making an impact, that quote right there should stand out to you. They're a draft and development team. So maybe if they are interested in a quarterback, let's say, they'll draft that quarterback and they'll develop him. Doesn't mean they're going to play right away and make an impact. And it really seems like they're open for business and open for anything. But at the same time, when they draft, they want to develop. The more picks, the better, I'm sure. But if there's an opportunity to move up in the draft, or even back for that matter, and they're open to it, I'm in on that. The other thing, though, is this entire offseason. By the way, let me just say this first. I'm open to whatever the Patriots do. I'm so intrigued. I can't wait for the draft. The biggest draft pick in the last 30 years of the franchise. Let's just be honest. This could be a franchise-altering draft pick. And with a week to go, to me, I feel like they don't know what they're doing. And I don't mean that necessarily in a bad way. I mean that necessarily by the whole entire offseason. Right? At one point, it was, the coach was Gerard Mayo. Well, who's going to be the offensive coordinator? They brought in how many offensive coordinators? Don't forget about this. How many offensive coordinators did they bring in? And they landed on Alex Van Pelt, who I do think can develop quarterbacks. and develop offensive players. I agree with all of that. But this is going to be a slow build. And with the number 3 overall pick, being open to everything, I do think is the right approach from Elliott Wolf. Another takeaway for me today. I think he at least has an idea of what he wants to do. Let's not forget about the contract of Elliott Wolf. He's not signed after the draft. I say that because it's fact. Oh, do you know how many people, Skaz, when people say to me, well, John, of course they're going to resign. You don't know that. So the fact is, Elliott Wolf doesn't have a contract after the draft. It's just a fact. But I at least feel like he knows what he wants to do. But, do you remember the poor press conferences that we heard? The awful press conferences? Collaborative. They want to make a team decision. I ask, is it too collaborative right now? And what is the consensus pick for number 3 overall? They don't have one. This is why they're open for business. Not because it's what they should do or listen to other offers and really try to reload their team. No, it's because their collaborative decision here, they don't have a consensus pick a week before the draft, and they don't know who they want. They don't know who they want. He goes on to say it's a long-term decision, asked about the top quarterbacks ranked and, if they'll play immediately or their ability to develop. He says that they look at upside now, not just at the first pick, but at every pick. We look at upside and try to build out. We have players, positions where we think we need to supplement now, kind of a plug-and-play type players. And we have other positions where we feel like we can, draft and develop these people. That's the quarterback, everybody. But they have not decided, at least today, as of today, with a week to go, the collaborative effort that they preach so much, that was so different than Bill Belichick's, they don't have a consensus pick right now. A couple of other things here. Wolf was also asked if he thinks there's a narrative chronicle about the talent or lack thereof on the Patriots offense, and if it can support a rookie quarterback. His quote, I do. I don't know if we have that back there, Skaz. They asked him about, essentially, can a team with this many holes, I'll paraphrase, a team with this many holes, can they actually support a rookie quarterback? And I thought it was pretty interesting. He talked about some of the players that they have a solid foundation with. Mentions Hunter Henry and guys like that. Let's hear the quote here.
I do, yes. Yep. I mean, we have NFL receivers, we have NFL tight ends, we have NFL running backs, we have NFL offensive linemen. We feel good about where we are, and we feel through free agency on the offensive side in particular that we've been able to supplement our roster properly so we're not having to draft for need as much offensively.
There you go. I personally think your roster is below average. But what do I know? I'm not a talent evaluator. I'm just a guy who bets on the couch all weekend long and watches every single game. But you guys, you look at upside. You look at upside, which I'm fine with. But your current team? Austin Hooper, backup tight end? Nope. Gibson, running back? Nope. You have holes all over the roster. You might think they're good. You might. The rest of the league doesn't. And what is it? Skaz, what has been a theme on this show? I have said this for a year now. The Patriots, when they think it's treasure, it's really just another team's trash. That's exactly what it is.
So when he says we're drafting for upside, right? They're projecting. They're guessing, right? What guys are going to be. We listened to Belichick yesterday on the McAfee show talk about the draft. And what did Belichick say? We draft guys based on what they're going to be in 2 to 3 years. Doesn't that sound like basically the same approach?
What do you do here? Again, Bill even said it yesterday. We would select guys off if we thought that they'd be there or not. That's essentially what he said. Hey, I thought this guy would be off the board. He's there. You're right. New faces, new names, same owner. Well, I'll lead it off there tonight at 617-779-0985. Burt Breer had some good stuff yesterday or last night on BST. I guess he was on with Beetle this afternoon as well. We might have to go get that audio because I think they may have brought up a wide receiver that could become available that's right now very vocal on social media. We'll play a little bit of that for you coming up next. And again, the phone number here, 617-779-0985. I'm Joe Murray here until 11 o'clock on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up.
This was a late ad. They had 3 quarterback 30 visits scheduled. I know they requested that Caleb Williams came. He said no to them the same way he said no to everybody except for the Bears. So the 3 guys they were going to have in were Drake May, Jaden Daniels, and J.J. McCarthy. And then late in the process, they added Michael Penix to the meeting list. And
why do you think?
I have it on pretty good authority that it's in the case that they do trade down, that they'd be prepared for that.
All right, back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. We got a full show tonight here until 11 o'clock. Skaz is here. We got Ryan Bell helping us out. That was Burt Breer on BST last night with Felger and Hawley. I wanted to just bring this up because my leadoff take is the Patriots are a week away from the draft and still don't know what they want. Maybe their team decisions are too collaborative at the moment and that they don't have a consensus choice at who they want at quarterback. So now they're open for business and are open to anything in any round. So as Burt Breer indicated there, the Patriots brought in Michael Penix. This was something I've been on for months because I feel like the offseason has been so long going up to the draft, but they really never met with Michael Penix. Now, did they send a scout to go see him? They did. But they had this group of 9 scouts that would go and look at all the quarterbacks, whether it was Jaden Daniels or Drake May for that matter. And then all of a sudden, a late addition to the mix is Michael Penix. And I do remember that Gerard Mayo recently mentioned, we think there's about 5 or 6 quarterbacks in the draft. So you look at it here, the 4 that have really been talked about, you add J.J. McCarthy to the mix along with Daniels, May, and Williams. Well, here comes Michael Penix now into the mix. And it's because the Patriots are open for... Bird has it on good authority, by the way. Good authority. They're bringing in Penix because they are open. They don't know. And they may move down. That makes some people happy here. I do feel that way. And here's again, I like what Elliot Wolf is telling us, but it's nothing different here. It's the same. The collaborative approach, though, because Bill would just, I don't care what you scouts say, we're taking this guy. I called my guy in here. This is who we're taking, which has hurt the team, no doubt, and this is why they're in the position they're in. But the fact that they don't have a consensus choice, and maybe Penix might be one of those choices, I like it. I'm in on it. But if they like Penix, they're trading back. Your thoughts at 617-779-0985. And there's a bunch of people on the line here, so we'll certainly get to you in a second. And I guess Bert was on tonight as well with Beetle and talked a little bit more about it. I do think that in the end, everybody, including Bert, thinks the Patriots are going to, I'm going to say the word settle. They're going to settle on Drake May because they don't have a guy. He's just probably the highest consensus. And in this case, if Elliot Wolf is making the decisions, which I doubt, I still think it's going to be the Crafts. And when it comes down to it, the Crafts are going to be in that room and they're going to say, just take May. Just take May. When in reality, they should be open for business. Also, they should be open for business on a wide receiver. I don't want to hear that you're happy with the current playmakers, Mr. Wolf. Out. We got some audio on that coming up in just a little bit. Well, let's get to the phones here at 617-779-0985. Let's start it off with Tom. He's in Newton. What's up, Tom? You're on the Joe Show.
Hey, Joe. Love the show. Listen, the way I look at this is like those situations where, people say if you have a quarterback controversy, like if you have multiple quarterbacks, then you don't have a quarterback. I think if you can't, after doing your due diligence in the draft, can't come to a consensus, clear in a way, what you want to do with that pick, then there really isn't a guy for you there. You know what I mean? Like if you're not blown away, if it's not clear to you who you want to take, and you're just kind of like, it could be this guy, you don't care, then I just don't think that's a good decision. I listen to these guys, like I get it, we're going to be collaborative, we're doing it a different way. It just sounds like amateur hour. Like I know they're trying something different. It just doesn't sound like there's clear, decisive direction down there going into this draft. And that's scary because that's the opposite of what they need. If you don't know, okay, this is our guy and you can explain why, then what are you doing with that pick? Like that just doesn't seem like a smart way to do
Hey, Tom,
business.
can I ask you a question?
Sure, go for it.
Do you feel better about this group making the decision at number 3, or would you have rather Bill Belichick?
I have to say, based upon something you had just pointed out before you put me on, I feel better about this group only because in the last however many years, it definitely became a situation where Bill was just going to talk to his guys and like whoever they said, whoever got in his ear, that's who they went with. And that was killing them for years. So I feel like at this point, you have to go another way. And if this is the way, so be it. But it's time for something new, although I don't really like the sounds of all of it.
Agree, Tom. I feel the same way. We all knew that Bill had to move on. We all knew it. But yet, when they spit these things out at us, what has changed besides a collaborative approach with no consensus pick? A week before the draft. That's frustrating. Ben is in Arizona. Hey, Ben.
Hey, Joey. Good to talk to you, man. Here's my advice, right? Don't overthink the pick. Just draft the guy. And to your point, man, we are 7 days away, and you still are playing the open for business card. That's a Bill Belichick move right there. What I was really hoping for today, too, from Elliott was maybe more confidence. You know what I mean? Because, show some excitement, show some confidence, and say something like, hey, we know the guy. You're going to be excited about who we take. And the only reason I say that, and I get that you don't want to show all your cards, but at the same time, maybe you kind of put the rest of the league in a panic, in a frenzy, and they give you that Godfather offer where they're like, oh, crap, they are taking May after all. We need to move in now. So I was hoping for a little bit more about, from Elliott today, honestly.
So I appreciate the call, Ben. So I did think he was confident as far as saying he likes his group in that, they're open for business, meaning that they're confident in whatever they're going to do. But I think they failed at that already, being so confident. We're going to burn cash. We want to weaponize the offense. All that stuff. It blew back in their face. I thought Elliott Wolf was very good today. This has been a really poor offseason for whatever mouthpiece the Patriots have this year. Specifically, Robert Kraft. I thought he's been bad. At least Gerard Mayo, he'll admit to you that he's a first-year coach. He'll tell you, hey, man, I came out a little too strong. I'm a first-year coach. I'll learn my lessons. And you know what? I kind of admire that. It's something we do here on the show, Skaz. There might be a mistake here and there, or maybe a factual or math. Who knows? Maybe a swear might sneak through every once in a while. You never know. So I kind of admire a guy that's like, hey, man, I'm just a first-year coach. What do I know? Wolf, though, I felt a little confidence. A little. Like when you say, hey, I don't feel like we have that many holes, woo, that's confident. So I agree with that. But, yeah, if he comes out there and says, we know our guy, you're going to love our guy, what makes you think that? Not to cross sports, but remember when they drafted Jaylen Brown and people were pissed that they didn't take Chris Dunn or somebody else? I wanted Jamal Murray. That's a debate that maybe we can have in a couple of months that I've used for 5 years now on the Sports Hub. But, again, it's just great. This year, who knows? If the consensus is Drake May, people are going to be like, all right, he's got the best now. Nah, But if it's J.J. McCarthy, oh, yeah, let me tell you. But Michael Penix and trading back, now people are talking. It's interesting. Barry's in Easton. Hey, Barry, you're on the Sports Hub.
Hey, what's going on? First time, long time. I just got a thing. How do you feel about the Pats trading back and taking offensive lineman Joe Alt from Notre Dame? The kid's a stud. They pick him up. They trade back, maybe get an early second round pick. Then they can draft their quarterback, and then they have a solid offensive lineman, which is what the Patriots need to solidify their line. Their line's garbage. So, I mean, that seems like a very solid pick for me. I don't know.
Listen,
listen, any other year, but besides a reset, dude, right? I'll be with you, Barry. Any other year, Joe Alt, I think, is the guy you draft. He's there for 15 years and is a solid left tackle and is a leader on the team. Unfortunately, with this reset that they're having, man, the Crafts want someone that can be the next leader of their organization, but that they can also market. And it's not Joe Alt.
Nah, I know. I get you. I feel you.
But I agree with you. Do I think
they should do that? That's just what I think.
If Bill Belichick was here, he
would do that.
Consider it. He'd probably trade with the Chargers and then do it. You know what I mean? Or trade with somebody else.
Yeah, you guys take Drake May. I'm taking left tackle Joe Alt. Yeah, that's Belichickian of me. I'm still stuck in the old ways.
I know. I did this. Thanks, Barry. Appreciate the call. This is where we're at. I don't even know what type of athlete the Patriots are looking at anymore, right? Like today, he was literally asked that today. We look for upside. Well, Belichick yesterday, as Skaz pointed out, said, yeah, we look for guys that are good in 2 and 3 years. So is there an actual difference? Like, I remember looking at the draft and being like, oh, this is a Patriots guy, and get real hot over it. Like, oh, this guy. Oh, you got to see this little inside slot receiver from Alabama. I'm telling you, man. Oh, this kid. He's a real Patriot. I don't feel like that anymore. I don't know what this team wants to do. Right? How many times would you watch a college football game? How many times did you watch Hunter Renfrow play and you're like, oh, man, this guy, he's a real Patriot. You don't feel like that. I don't know what they're doing anymore. I don't know. This is why it's so fascinating. But sometimes there can be too many cooks in the kitchen. You know, the night show here is a very collaborative approach, I would say, Skaz. You know, if you throw it in the Slack channel, it may get mentioned. Right? It may get mentioned. We may talk about it. It's a collaborative effort on what we do. When things happen, we transition. That's what happens here. It works here. On the football field or sometimes in business. Not always. And for those who don't want Drake May or J.J. McCarthy, you should be pushing the collaborative narrative, chronicle, because they'll trade back, they'll get more players, and they'll get Michael Penix. I'm not a poll guy. I don't love polls. I am doing the Roni Rumble, which is this weekend, which we did a lot of polls on who had the best pizza joint, whatever. Guys, I don't know. We can do it. Would you rather Drake May, J.J. McCarthy, or trade back in Michael Penix? And this is what I would assume. I would bet that more people want to trade back and select Michael Penix than the other two. You know what? Feel free to call in on that one. If you want to do a poll, you can. I'm not a poll guy. not a poll guy. By the way, would you ever do the slippery pole? You ever seen this thing, Skaz? It's in Gloucester. It's this slippery pole. They put it all over, and then people try to run on it. And I know a guy who's won it like 5 years.
Yeah, I think I'm out on that at this point.
It feels like a North Shore thing,
maybe
not your side of the world.
Yeah, North Shore, maybe if I was younger, yeah.
Poles. Just like Steve Ballmer and his clocks. Speaking of the clock, we got to go to headlines. And Beetle was on with Bert Breer tonight, on Early Edition. And, I've just been talking about this wide receiver that could be available that wants out. Patriots should go get him. We'll tell you who that is and have the Patriots called on him. We'll do all that coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. All right, Red Sox fell today 5-4 to Cleveland. They finished their, their homestand. It wasn't good. 3 wins in their 7-game homestand. So not good on their part. The NBA play-in tournament, which is still the regular season. As we found out in an article that Skaz wrote on 98.5thesportshub.com. But the Bulls and the Miami Heat, they'll play on Friday night. And then the Pelicans and Kings, they will meet at 9:30 on Friday night. And then the winner of that Bulls-Heat game will play the Celtics on Sunday. That's all I got for you at the moment. Headlines, they are brought to you by our good friends over at... Jeez. Well, Skaz, Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com for 15% off your next drive-through oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Now open in Franklin, Billerica, and Peabody. I'm Joe Murray. Your next update in 30 minutes.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
that there is going to be a Tom Brady, A.J. Brown reunion in Foxborough this fall.
No. This isn't the sort of roster that Tom Brady would come back to begin with. Like, I think if Tom Brady is going to come back, it's going to be to some loaded roster that has a quarterback injury later in the year. And even that might not be likely. Maybe he was just saying that to stir the pot. I did have to run this up the flagpole with a few different people. Philadelphia has gotten inquiries on A.J. Brown, and they have shut them all down and told other teams that he is not available.
This is the kind of thing we react to. This is just covering the NFL in 2024. Oftentimes, the social media stuff does lead to stuff. So it's something that we always have to pay attention to. I would say the Patriots are interested in receiver help. And I think they would be open to trading for a veteran receiver.
And if, Bert, what you're saying is true, that teams have inquired about A.J. Brown, I would hope the Patriots are one of those teams.
They are.
They should be. They are one of those teams?
Yeah, they've inquired.
Look what I just did.
Look, yeah. Wow.
I just pulled that out of Bert Breer. There it is. Breaking news on the show right now. The Patriots inquired about A.J. Brown.
He loves that.
This is what they should be doing. They should be calling teams.
I'm telling you, they are interested in receivers.
Yeah.
And so they're obviously
you call Cincinnati on T. Higgins, you call the Niners on Brandon Ayuk. Like, that's what you're doing there.
And aren't they in the position, if it doesn't work this year, some of these names, you call Philadelphia again next year. They already know you're interested.
Yes, you call again in 12 months when it's easier for them to move them. Yeah, you do.
Is there any reason?
Oh, baby, did you hear that? Beetle had to pull it out of Bert, who's got all this information, who's on the phone all the time. Have you ever worked with him? During the breaks, he's on the phone, talking to everybody. So, is that breaking news, guys?
This is Breaking Sports News.
Powered by Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
On 98.5, The Sports Hub.
All right, according to Albert Breer of MMQB, the Philadelphia Eagles are taking calls on wide receiver A.J. Brown, and the Patriots have been one of them. They have been on this one for a while, everyone. This guy, I know he grew up a Patriots fan, and he loved Tom Brady, but let's not forget Patriots fan. This guy was so disappointed when the Patriots didn't select him. And if you really want to know the story, the Patriots brought in both Deebo Samuel and A.J. Brown to Foxborough. And because they were working out together and challenging with each other, they were friendly, and the report was that Bill Belichick thought they goofed off. And he ended up, who did they select that year? They took N'Keal Harry. Because he called his guy, hey, how about this N'Keal Harry kid? Who they drafted and tried to develop but didn't play well and got cut in 3-4 years. Is that what happened with him? That's what I remember what happened with him. Point of the story is this guy wants out, or at least it seems like he wants out. And he always wanted to play for the Patriots. And it's just about money. That's what it's about. This guy should get any draft capital. Now, you're not going to give up the number 3 overall pick, but the 34th pick, sure. Because of the money, do you have to take it on and move it for a third? Yeah, probably. Do it. Do it. And I know that no one's throwing the ball and who's protecting him. You have to take these opportunities now because the Chiefs need a wide receiver. Buffalo needs a wide receiver. There are other teams around the league that will beat you to it, that he'll be a better fit for and perform well and go on to be successful and win. A.J. Brown's played in Tennessee and played well for the Eagles, but who knows what's going on there in the future of their coach. And not to mention they just gave Devontae Smith a long-term extension. They've given Lane Johnson big money. Jalen Hurts has big money. He hurt his knee at the end of the year, didn't play. He was unhappy. But if you want a prime-time receiver, you got to get him when maybe you're not right. And right now the Eagles aren't right, and I get it. Why would the Eagles move on from him? Because he's all over social media. He doesn't want to play for you. He's making it publicly known. He does not want to play for the Eagles, a team a year removed from playing in the Super Bowl. This guy had over 100 catches. He's had, 18 touchdowns in 2 seasons? He's an incredible player. And you can sit there and say, it won't happen, Joe. It won't happen, Joe. They can do it if they want to. That's the point. If you want to weaponize the offense, go get the best guy available before Buffalo or the Chiefs or some other team goes and gets him. Because why? It's money. Look what just happened with Stephon Diggs. What just happened? He got traded. He got moved. They restructured his deal. He's going to Houston. Bing, bang, boom. They're right in the Super Bowl conversation in the East, in the AFC. They're right in the conversation now. Now, I'm not saying the Patriots are that's all going to happen for them that fast. But A.J. Brown, if he needs to heal from the knee injury, this is the year to sit him. You'll have him next year with your number 3 overall quarterback or at the end of this year. Let me give you an example of this. Will Levis, DeAndre Hopkins. Hopkins was having a subpar year. There was so much injury at quarterback for the Titans. Will Levis comes in. All of a sudden, he's throwing to DeAndre Hopkins, and they're putting up big, big numbers. How about that development for Will Levis? Now look at their team. New coach, highly regarded offensive player. They're making trades, right? They're doing everything in free agency. They're now in the conversation in their division. 1 year removed from having their quarterback move on, or who was hurt last year and fired their coach. The Patriots, this is a franchise-altering addition. What does it cost? Money? Draft picks? You have it. Get your quarterback, get your star wide receiver, start building around it. The addition of that type of wide receiver would be huge and so impactful for the Patriots in so many other ways. It makes their other wide receivers better. It makes whoever's the quarterback this year and whoever they draft. And now, I don't know, I feel like some players around the league maybe like A.J. Brown. Maybe it becomes a destination. I don't know. Do it. This guy's all over social media today screaming he wants out. And he's using the Patriots as the negotiation, as the ploy. He's using them. You better be open to it. Because they are, according to Burt Breer. 617-779-0985. Now, there's another piece to this one. The Tom Brady signs a 1-year deal with the Patriots. And I'm out on that. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm worried about A.J. Brown. Forget about Tom Brady. A.J. Brown. That's who I care about. 617-779-0985. We're here until 11 o'clock tonight. Devin's in Florida. Hey, Devin, you're on the Sports Hub.
Hey, Joe. I got a bold prediction. I think Michael Penix Jr. is going to be the best quarterback in this draft by far, and I think that we should trade the first pick that we got, try and get Justin Jefferson or A.J. Brown, and then get Michael Penix Jr., and then do what we want to do with the rest of the draft. Thank you. I'm going to hang up the
go ahead. Thank you. You get a quarterback, right? You get a quarterback. Okay. Now you go get the wide receiver. That's under contract for at least multiple years. You can also extend him. You can give him more upfront money. There's a lot of things you can do. And I know that people are going to get excited if the A.J. Brown thing happens and then Tom Brady. Sure. They could use all the good PR that they need. They could use it all. I want the player, A.J. Brown. I want the player here. The player. This is one of the best wide receivers in all of football that is literally on social media using the Patriots photos. That's a guy you go get. How many people want to play for the Patriots? How many people want to play for the Patriots? How many people wanted to be their offensive coordinator this year? How about with A.J. Brown? Guy is a game changer. It's just money and draft picks. You got nothing else. You select your quarterback at 3. You go get him. It's a different story. Your future's different. Maybe Elliott Wolf gets that contract extension. You know, maybe Gerard Mayo now has something to work with here. Your thoughts at 617-779-0985. The A.J. Brown stuff's on the table. What the Patriots do, it's all there. Jay and Hull, Gronk, A.J. Brown, Brady, all on 1-year deals. Let's do it. But it gets us talking, right? It's got everybody talking about it. Joe, why not? What else are they going to do? Exactly. They've done nothing. If they were like, yeah, we didn't do anything in free agency because, we didn't want to pay, Calvin Ridley, which we'll get into later. I didn't want to pay him the money. Why? Because we wanted to pay A.J. Brown the money. We'll take a quick break. Hey, the Red Sox played today. Did anybody know that? We'll talk about it coming up in a little bit here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe.
lost 5-4. They lost. Brian Bernardino got the start. He was the guy that they sent down to Worcester to start the year, and since then he's been pretty good, 1.23 ERA. But then Mr. Criswell came in, who has been a starter, but then they made him the long guy today and gave up 4 runs, 1 earned. And then Mr. Jocks threw a wild pitch, hit a guy. It was just bad. They hung around. They went down early, battled back, but they lost the final game of the series and finished their homestand. 3-7? Oh, no, 3 out of 7. Excuse me. 3 out of 7. And now they go to Pittsburgh to take on the Pirates. How are they doing this year? Because I know they're 11-8. Not bad, huh? The Red Sox are 10-10 on the season. They got a great outing from Tanner Houck last night. One that probably hasn't happened in Major League Baseball for a long time. Certainly with the Red Sox, Michael Wacha was the last one to do it. I just got a couple of Red Sox takes I'll get out of the way and we'll move on. Rafael Devers, go on the disabled list. Go on the injured list, excuse me. Take the 10 days, bro. You're not helping the team right now. I know you want to be out there. The team's down. They put our buddy Pipes on the IL today. You should too, man. Just get away for a bit. Whether it's your knee, your shoulder, whatever, you're not helping right now. Again, I know you want to be there. Go on the injured list. I just read a little while ago, his knee results came back negative. He's good to go. No. Just send him back. I can't do a year of this with Rafael Devers. I can't do it. I didn't watch anyways, but I don't think they should do it. How about that? What was the other Red Sox take I had? Oh, the lineup today was absolutely putrid. Do you know what their 3-4 hitters were today? Do you even want to know, Skaz? Because I'll tell you. I'm going to tell you anyways. How about that? I love that. That's seems like a new thing for me. This should be amusing. I always say, hey man, do you want my opinion? Because I'm going to give it to you anyways. Wilyer Abreu batting third today with a 184 batting average. I mean, a 180. Okay. Oh, this is even better. And Manuel Valdez was the cleanup hitter today. Oh, what a middle of the lineup that is. Jared Duran, Tristan Casas batted second and had 3 strikeouts. I wouldn't do that again. He's protected by Wilyer Abreu? Out! Oh, but they brought Ruff Schneider back up. He struck out. Just a bad day. Bad day, bad team, bad season. Again. Even though I want to give Tanner Houck his credit. Hey, Tanner Houck had a great night. He did. They followed up with a 5-4 loss to Cleveland with Wilyer Abreu batting third. Chris is in Norwood. Hey, Chris, you're on the Sports Hub.
Hey, man, what's up? Thanks for taking my call. Just want to give a quick buzz on some of the talk that's been going around about Brady and A.J. Brown. I mean, can you honestly say you're out on that if he wanted to come back? I mean, we used that pick on Marvin Harrison Jr., maybe take a quarterback in the later rounds. I mean, how often do first-round QBs really work out?
Chris, listen, I'm not out on it. I don't care about it because I want A.J. Brown. All right, none of this happens. You remember with the big three, they couldn't get Kevin Garnett if they didn't get Ray Allen. You don't even talk about.
You want A.J. Brown to attract other players.
Don't even talk about Tom Brady right now. You need A.J. Brown. You need A.J. Brown. Because you're right.
Yeah, you need someone to throw to him, too.
Yeah, no, but what
you have the ultimate magnet in Tom Brady.
Here's the deal.
If he comes back,
Chris,
which is possible. He said that he would.
Chris, here's the deal. If they sign A.J. Brown, or if they trade for him, excuse me, you can then call in and say, Joe, now go get Tom Brady.
They have to do all this before the draft because they need to take Marvin Harrison Jr. at the third pick and not waste it on a quarterback. They're most often bust than they are booms. I think that we should hang on and take a quarterback in the later round, let him sit for
Chris,
a couple of years to develop.
Elliot Wolf said today that they want to draft and develop. Do you think Marvin Harrison is a draft develop guy?
No, that's why you got to have the Tom come back. That's why you got to have Tom come back.
No. Again, forget about Tom Brady for a second. Is Marvin Harrison a draft and develop guy?
No.
Okay, then. So they're not going to take him. I know. It sucks, right? It stinks. It stinks. 617-779-0985. The New England Patriots have just tweeted something out. We'll get to this on the other side. I got to digest this one for a minute. Hey, we're going to talk to Taylor Twellman today. MLS analyst for Apple, I believe. A lot of things, right? Is he the main analyst for the Miami FC soccer team? And I believe next week there's someone really big coming to New England. I believe Skaz is going to be there. And Taylor is going to be here.
Yeah, this is like a bucket list item for me.
Seeing Messi live.
Yeah. I couldn't be more excited.
If I was going to see Messi, I'd get real messy. Go to the headlines right now. I'm Joe Murray here on the Sports Hub.
Bust from the Town Fair Tire Studios, home of the Celtics, Bruins, Revs, and Patriots.
Left side, touchdown Patriots.
Boston's home for sports is 98.5, the Sports Hub, Easily Media Group Station. Sports Hub headlines.
Well, the Red Sox lost today 5-4. They'll start a trip to tomorrow in Pittsburgh. Rafael Devers had a scope on his knee. No worries. No IL for him. But they did put our buddy Pipes. I don't even think I know his last name anymore because we've called him Pipes O'Neill. Imagine those shirts, man. We could make shirts. We could be the creative for the Red Sox. It'd be fun. What else is going on? There's really nothing going on. Bruins, Toronto, Saturday night. 8 o'clock here on the Sports Hub. Celtics await the winner of Chicago and the Miami Heat, who are both dealing with injuries. One, Jimmy Butler, MCL. Alex Caruso for Chicago as well. Things are turning up green, everyone. Headlines, they are brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. I'm Joe Murray. Your next update in 30 minutes.
You want to talk sports? We
All right, back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. We're going to talk to Taylor Twellman coming up in just a little bit. Get his thoughts on the arrival of Lionel Messi next week. And what else is going on in the soccer world? I like to bet on soccer. Ryan Bell's going to sit in with us. He's a super soccer fan. Like, super soccer fan. Like, do you collect soccer cards? No? Okay. I have soccer.
He has played in Italy, though.
Ryan's played in Italy?
And, yeah, he's played at Italy and he's played at Gillette.
Wow. Well, that's...
Yeah, he's legit.
I mean, that's the best expert we have in the building right now. We don't have a soccer expert here. We're going to have one on. But, I mean, we need one in-house. How's the food in Italy?
Very good.
Thumbs up. All right, cool. We can talk about the pitch another time. All right, speaking of pitches, the Patriots have sent out a tweet, and they're trolling us. We're being trolled right now. The Patriots have... I'm going to retweet this. Let's just do it. At Joey Murray. 1 week until the Pats draft, says at Patriots. And who do they have on the cover? J.J. McCarthy. That was a pregnant pause right there, huh? They have J.J. McCarthy on their mock draft tracker cover. What a troll job. I'm just reading the quotes here. Stop putting J.J. McCarthy on these covers, admin. If you guys draft J.J., swear to God I'm becoming a Chiefs fan. If you draft J.J. at 3, we riot. If we draft J.J., then the franchise is officially over. Very nasty. Please stop using J.J. as your primary photo. Nope. If this is the pick, then I hope the day never comes. You draft him at 3, I'm becoming a Giants fan. I swear we better not draft him. I'm just reading the picks, the posts. You're just trolling now, dude. Bro, no, we don't want this. Why do I feel somehow you guys are going to screw this up? This is incredible. Drake Mayer, leave me alone. Starting to get scared with these JJ posts. That's the guy we got to draft. Hope they do what's right. How's our poll doing? What's going on with our poll over there?
The poll has ended. I believe trade back was the winner.
Trade back was the winner? Oh, the poll was on YouTube, by the way.
Oh, hold on here. We got final results. Drake May, 45%. Trade back, 42%. So Drake May came back and won.
Wow.
And J.J. McCarthy with a resounding 12% in the poll.
Nobody wants J.J. And I don't think the Patriots want him either. The consensus says 2 to 3 years, J.J. might not be good. 2 to 3 years, Drake May might be good. 2 to 3 years, Michael Penix may be a Pro Bowler. The consensus right now, there is none. You know what's funny? I got this a little earlier. I thought this was funny. Some guy goes, what do you say to me? He basically was just said, what do you know? How do you know that they don't know the consensus because they haven't told you? They don't owe you that information before the draft. It's my show, damn it. And I can assume whatever I want. How about that? And if I hear a story or read a story and I interpret it a certain way, then damn it, that's how I interpreted it. So who are you to tell me? Beantown bad boy? I know you're not from here because you used Beantown. Six 617-779-0985. This is a super troll job by the Patriots. I got to commend them for it. I almost have to respect it, you know?
No, that's kind of how I feel, too. At first, I was like, what are we doing? But now it's like, it's a week before the draft. Get everybody up in arms. You know what this almost makes me feel like? They do know what they're doing. Is that crazy?
So I felt confidence today. I did. I felt confident like they like their team. You know, they're confident in their collaborative approach. I also feel like Elliot Wolf knows what he wants to do.
Yeah, so I think that was one of my takeaways too. That I think a lot of people don't have that takeaway from it, but I thought Wolf came off good today, and I think he does have. Will they let him execute his plan? I think is the bigger question.
That's why I think ultimately Drake May is the safest play. I've told you this. I had him ranked, him and Caleb 1 and 2 this year. And I do believe that Jaden Daniels passed him. I feel that way. I don't feel that J.J. McCarthy, though, is the next quarterback. I just don't. I've always liked Michael Penix. I really have. And I'm not even sure I have him at 4. I'm not sure. He throws a hell of a ball. There's no doubt about that. I have a 3, and then I have nothing else. I think Penix can throw in the league. I do get Malik Willis vibes with him a little bit, though. I do. I still think Bo Nix is the most slept-on guy in the draft, though. He was a product of the system, no doubt, but wasn't Justin Herbert?
Joe, just remember him at Auburn.
He sucked.
Don't be fooled. He's also 25, isn't he?
I know.
That's not an investment. That's not for the Patriots.
I get you. If I was ranking them, should I do Joe's tiers now?
Yeah, there we go. Well, let me get to music.
No. I actually, if you're asking me if I was gonna give you a top 8, I'd go Williams, Daniels, May, Penix, McCarthy, Nix. Somewhere in that order. I like the kid Pratt from Tulane. I really do.
And then you're out on Rattler and Jordan Travis.
So I feel like Rattler will be an NFL player. I think he'll be in the league. He was a blue chip recruit from Oklahoma. And he actually had a pretty good year for South Carolina last year. But do I think he could be... he kind of reminds me of Desmond Ridder. And that's, look at him right now as a backup in the league, you know? That's really it, man. I mean, there's some other guys late in the draft that I think could, like, get spot starts. Like, look at Aiden O'Connell. Like, Sam Hartman. Dude can throw, but can he do anything else? Just the more I look at this quarterback class, there's a kid, Austin Riley, I really like. But, again, he played at Western Kentucky, and so didn't Bailey Zappi. And if I tell you I like him, then everyone's going to say you just love Zappi. But, no, I do think the kid can play in the league. But they have the number 3 overall pick. So we should only be talking about 3 or 4 guys. I don't have J.J. McCarthy as one of the 4 guys. I just don't. Doesn't mean he doesn't have the upside, though. So that's where he falls into the equation here. Penix, though, I'll tell you this, guys. I think Jaden Daniels can play right away. Right away. In a way, I kind of feel like Penix can, too. I don't think Drake May should. I don't think J.J. McCarthy should either. Penix, though, kind of reminds me of a guy who can play right away. Again, I do have Malik Willis vibes. And what I mean by Malik Willis, guy drafted high, went to Tennessee, and woof. He also went to a small school, though, so there was a lot against Malik Willis. Penix? What do you have, one bad game? Any other struggles he had was because of injury. Dude, really, he beat Michigan. I mean, he beat great teams. Indiana hasn't won a Big Ten road game since Michael Penix was there. Think about that. Anyways, we were going to play where Elliot Wolf talked about Cleveland and hiring and the number 1 pick and all that stuff, but we'll do that in a little bit. And then the other thing we were going to talk about was, remember that time Robert Kraft said that they didn't sign Calvin Ridley because of his girlfriend? Elliot Wolf was asked about that today. And this is what I mean about Elliot Wolf. Is he transparent? Maybe. Is it better than what Bill did? Yep. Does he have the final say? Probably not. But I've been saying they need a mouthpiece. Although he did say he wanted to weaponize the offense, it wasn't in free agency. He still can if they get A.J. Brown. But the more I look at it, I feel like this guy could be their mouthpiece. Felt he was pretty confident today. So we'll leave it there at 617-779-0985. One other thing, I should probably lead into this. We're going to talk to Taylor Twellman in a minute here. But we've been getting calls after Revs games. Let's be honest, we're the flagship of the New England Revolution. They're going through a transition year. New coach who we have on every week here. They have a couple of good players, good leaders. Their performance is not to par. We know about some of these ownership report cards that come out, and it really hasn't favored the Crafts in any means, specifically in the MLS. And please, if I'm ignorant, I apologize. I don't watch MLS games. I don't. The sport's too slow for me, to be honest. Like, I watch Premier League on Saturday morning, and I'm like, what is this? But it is a different game, and I respect it. But I do feel this, guys. A couple of years ago when Turner was on the team, I watched the games. Granted, I had to work here and watch them, but I at least was interested in the result. I wanted to watch some good plays. There was somewhat of a, I don't want to call him a polarizing figure in Matt Turner, but he was somebody I could somewhat relate to.
He was really good.
Identify with. How about that? I could identify with him.
I think that's the most frustrating part, is someone who is a soccer fan, does like soccer, is that you said, a couple of years ago, the Revs seemed to be gaining momentum. They had Matt Turner. He went to the Premier League. They signed Petrovic. Now he's, one of the better goalies in the Premier League. And they just didn't capitalize on it at all. And the whole Bruce Arena thing. So I think, we don't normally get Revs calls, but we've gotten more in the past couple weeks than I can remember. And people are pissed off.
People want to see the sport grow specifically here, and it's not. I think that's what people are upset about. So I wanted to lead into that as we talk to Taylor, and we'll talk about a couple of things, in soccer in general. We're going to bring Ryan, our expert, Ryan Bell in, and Scaz will be a part of it as well. And we'll talk to Taylor Twellman coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on The Sports Hub.
Yeah, they can be a little. This one falls. Look, watch this. This one falls right out. It's like I got a portable microphone right here, man.
I feel like I'm going to break this thing.
So you played soccer in Italy.
Yeah, well, I'll start off by clarifying I'm a Division III hero, so...
Doesn't matter.
But yes, in high school, I did take a trip to Italy. I played in a tournament there, so I am technically an international soccer player.
You're an international soccer player.
No,
Division III athlete.
That was a joke.
No, I didn't. I didn't discredit you. I didn't discredit you. So you play. What position do you play?
I play center back.
And what does the center back do?
It's defender. So the center defender.
So you play defense.
Correct.
Okay. Do you feel like that's something that the average person who doesn't really watch should know?
Yeah, I mean, if you've watched soccer, played soccer, been around soccer for a week or so, you probably understand it's a general position thing. I mean, it's like in football, knowing what a wide receiver is.
People in the chat just called you a D3 GOAT.
Appreciate it.
Here's the deal. If you play D3, semi-pro football at Hyde Park, if you've played D3 wherever, don't discredit yourself. I had friends who went to Curry College and then went on to do great things. There's a goalie from Curry College who actually played in the NHL recently.
Yeah?
Like, it doesn't matter where you came from. It doesn't matter. If you play D3, where do you guys play? You go to Dean. Where do you guys have a home?
Yeah, we got a field.
You play on the football field?
No, we have our own field. We have our whole athletic.
You guys have your own soccer field?
Yeah, most colleges do, especially D3 schools.
Oh, okay. See, I'm older than you. How old are you?
20.
I'm 22 years old. So we didn't have soccer when I was growing up.
Yeah, I mean...
There was no high school soccer. Like, I don't even know if, like, I had buddies who played on the side.
Can I ask how old you are?
I'm 42.
Okay. That's not that old.
I'm not that old.
My dad's older than you, and he played soccer in high school, so...
They had... Skaz, did they have soccer at your high school?
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, that might be a you thing. I'm like...
I did go to Catholic school, so, I mean, everything's different when you go to Catholic school, Okay. But yeah, no, they maybe like an intramural thing.
Yeah, no, it's
something to that degree. But we're waiting on Taylor Twellman. Hopefully, you hear from him shortly. But it's funny, the camera just gets the mic when I love this. Who messes with that? Who's our camera guy here? Like, I know you are kind of Skaz, but
they're supposed to be automated.
You're not the guy I blame, though. So who's a blame guy? Is it Nick?
I'm not blaming anybody.
I just wanted to know. Like, because, isn't that what happens when something goes wrong? We blame somebody?
I guess so.
Who do we blame for the lack of Rev's success?
The lack of Rev's success. I would put it on Kraft. I know Porter's taking a lot of heat, and rightfully so, but the squad the Revs have right now, even with Bruce Arena still in, I don't think would be competing to the level that Revs fans would expect them to, just because the Crafts haven't reinvested the money that they got from players like Tajon Buchanan, Matt Turner, Jordy Petrovic, Adam Buksa, the list goes on. They've made a ton of money and they haven't reinvested it. And on top of that, Vrioni as their number 9 has just been god-awful. So as much as Porter hasn't set them up well tactically, I just don't think they have the pieces to compete anyways.
Do you think at this time of year they've already said we suck?
MLS is a long season, and it's a lot about getting hot late. They have some players coming back from injury. DeJuan Jones just went down. Brandon Bye's been out for a while, so their back line's been a little here and there, and they don't have a ton of depth. So, I mean, they'll have pieces coming back. If you ask me right now if they're going to make the playoffs, I would say no. But I don't think they think their season's over. We're 7 games in.
All right. Do the MLS have a draft?
They do. So, soccer's weird, and American soccer's
Soccer is weird.
American soccer's even more weird. So, anywhere in Europe, really any other league in the world, doesn't have a draft. MLS does, and it's gotten less and less important over the years. So they'll take players out of college like any other American sport. But you can also sign players out of academies. You can sign players from other countries. So the draft holds some weight, and the number 1, 2, 3 top few guys, anyways, out of the draft are usually pretty good. I mean, you look at it, Tajon Buchanan came out of the super draft, and he's playing in Europe right now at Inter Milan, but that's kind of a rare occurrence kind of thing. So the majority of good players are either academies or come from other leagues.
So I was going to ask you, so you play D3 for Dean College. Shout out to Dean.
Shout out Dean.
What number
Go
are
Bulldogs.
you?
Number 4.
You're number 4. Is there a reason why you were number 4?
That's what I was assigned my freshman year.
And that's what you took?
It's a good number as a freshman.
Is there any a single number is a great number. Is there any famous like soccer players number 4?
Famous players number 4. Vincent Kompany was actually one of my favorite players growing up. He was a center back for Manchester City.
Vincent Kompany?
Correct.
That's a hell of a name.
Yeah, a really good center back for City. He's now coaching in the Prem for Burnley. So,
wow, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean,
Ryan's favorite manager wore number 4. I'm pretty sure.
Correct.
Pep Guardiola. He's Missoula's guy. He's the guy Missoula loves.
You guys are talking to someone who has no clue.
Yeah, this guy didn't even know what a center back is, Skaz. So
I know.
I guess
no.
to do.
That's what we're here for. We're educated.
No, but I'm trying to tell you, as a 42-year-old man, we don't take this personally, but it was given off as if you're not tough enough to play football, go play soccer. I will say this. I, in my heyday, could not even keep up running with a soccer player. I could never do it. So I respect the hustle from you guys here. So that is, but I didn't know. Number 4, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you talk about mileage. We wear trackers during our game, so we have like all our stats basically are mileage. We do like 6-7 miles a game.
6 or 7 miles. Whew. That's a tough one. All right, let's go to the Volkswagen Dealers Expert Hotline. We'll welcome in a Revolution legend, also analyst for the MLS on Apple TV. His name is Taylor Twellman, and he joins us right here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. How's it going tonight, Taylor? How are you, bud?
Good. What's going on, brother?
Not much, man. I got to make sure I get my names right. You know, Lionel Messi. You know what I mean? And it's funny because
not Lionel Richie. Come on, Joe.
literally. But we have Ryan Bell here with us in Skaz, who you were just talking to. They are soccer experts. Like I hear, and then the games end, and then people call in and just complain. So I'm like the hype man when it comes to it all. But I got to ask you. Revs fans very upset at the moment, and I just wanted to get kind of your thoughts on on what is actually happening with the Revolution, and can things change for this soccer team?
Yes, to answer your question, they can absolutely change. I think, listen, the Revs fandom that is frustrated with how things have gone over the past, I would say, 12 months or so, I can understand it. I can understand where this team set a record for most points in a regular season, Joe, not too long ago. And yet now you're sitting here with one of the best players in the league in Carlos Heel. You have the Bruce Arena issues, events, however you want to phrase it. That happens. Then there's no real conversation publicly about what happened, how it went down. Then the players really fell flat at the end of the year. You go out, get a new coach, a proven coach in Caleb Porter that's won 2 MLS Cups, and the season starts really, really slow. 8 games in, 24, 25 days. It hasn't been easy. I understand it. I totally get it. And yet, the last question you asked me, I answered it first. Yes, things can change very quickly.
All right, so there was a lot of momentum a couple of years ago. Matt Turner, right, playoffs. People were really excited about the Revs. You mentioned the Bruce Arena thing from last year. And, on the NFL side of things, people look at these report cards when it comes to owners. And the Revolution score very low on those reports. Do you think morale is low, and that could have something to do with the slow start for the Revs this season?
Yeah, I mean, I find it interesting that the owners, listen, Robert and Jonathan Kraft, when I played there in the heyday of the Revolution, Joe, you can make an argument, sure, okay, the Revs in the league weren't at the level they are now. They just built a $35 million training facility. They didn't need to do that. So, I've seen the numbers behind the scenes. Publicly, I don't think they get enough credit for the amount of money spent. Now, in saying that, they've sold Turner and Petrovic and Buchanan. You're looking over $20 million worth of sales. I think some of the restaurants are saying, well, where's that money being spent? How's it being spent? But that's normal in sports. I just think Robert and Jonathan and the ownership group, I think, are getting a bad rap for back in the heyday, back in the day, on how certain things went down versus where they are now. They did not need to build that training facility. They do not need to be spending millions of dollars of trying to get this stadium over the finish line in downtown Boston. They desperately need it. They know that. But the players on the field have to do their job too. And I think that's the one thing, Joe, that I want to make abundantly clear. The players are not blameless in all of this. I get it. There's had a lot of stuff has happened, but as a player, you control your own fate with a lot of things. They haven't done their job.
Yeah, so Taylor, I'm going to chime in. Why do you think they haven't reinvested that money in the team per se? So obviously, Kraft's, I mean, they built that training facility, have toured it. It's very nice in the stadium, and they're willing to spend money on those types of things. But after the sale of all those players you mentioned, Buksa as well, why do you think they haven't reinvested in the players so much?
I don't think that answer. It's a great question. It's the right question. I don't think they're done spending. I think this summer, they're trying to be smart with how they go about this. I think in the summer windows, you have a bigger pond to fish in. In the winter windows, when the MLS regular season starts and the rest of Europe is in the middle of their season, you're going to have a more difficult time bringing in players at that time. You're not in South America, so that's different. But if you're looking in Europe, you're looking at those, you're going to more than likely look at those this summer. I fully expect the New England Revolution to be active this summer. And when the new rules come in, it's going to allow them a little bit more flexibility this summer to do so. And then if they don't, then I think the real question has to be, hang on a minute. You've made $22 million plus on sales. Where's that money being spent? How's it being spent? And are we buying the right players for the system that is trying to be played?
There you go, Taylor Twellman. Breaking news: the Patriots will spend money this offseason. Burn cash, I think, is what I heard there. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but they will spend money, and they're not done yet. Says Taylor Twellman, who joins us here on 98.5 The Sports. So I know Skaz, he's with us as well. I know he had a question regarding some MLS rules.
Yeah, so the MLS is going to... So apparently they announced these rules in the offseason, but they couldn't implement them until this weekend because of the ref lockout. And so for people who don't know that are listening, injured players who are down for 15 seconds must leave the field and remain off for 2 minutes. Subbed players have 10 seconds to leave the field, or they have to wait 60 seconds to enter, and then in-stadium VAR announcements, which doesn't affect people at home as much. But my question with those new rule changes, does that reward hard fouls? Like guys, if a guy's down for 15 seconds and he has to leave the field for 2 minutes, doesn't that kind of reward, I don't know, maybe like harder play?
It's a great question. It's one of my biggest concerns. Obviously, everyone at 98.5 and a lot of your listeners know about my advocacy for traumatic brain injuries in sports and whatnot. So head injuries is not part of that. So that is not part of it. So if there is a suspected head injury, those new rules coming into play will not be in there. What you're talking about is the hard 50-50 challenge, the hard challenge and whatnot. Absolutely. And I think there's going to be real discrepancy in how that is played. Now, in saying that, I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to get rid of, as I like to say, the baby games, the rolling around, the diving, the flopping, that kind of thing. We've seen, you guys saw this in the World Cup in the winter in 2022, where the stoppage times now are all of a sudden 9, 10, 11 minutes. They're trying to punish the baby games off the ball that sometimes plague our sport and, more importantly, just kind of slow the game down. I think the VAR announcements, I don't know about you guys, I love the transparency from the refs. I think all sports should have it. I think it adds the human element to that. It allows the fan in stadium and even the ones at home to have a better understanding of what is being called. I'm not saying there's not going to be arguments and disagreements, but at least you're going to hear from the referee and hear what he or she saw. I think that just works in and of itself when it comes to officiating. But I'm as intrigued as anyone, as you said, that the hard fall, that the hard tackle, where the player is then hurt, and seriously hurt for maybe 15, 16, 17 seconds, where that's not black and white. There's going to be a lot of gray in there, and I'm curious how that is managed.
All right, Taylor Twellman joining us here on 98.5, the Sports Hub. And, well, next Saturday, Lionel Messi, right, will be coming to Gillette Stadium. And I know you've called almost every Miami game since he's returned. It's not just Messi, though, right? Can you tell us a little bit about just Miami in general and what should fans expect next week? And do the Revs have a chance?
Well, I mean, first off, I did Taylor Swift at Gillette Stadium. I took my family there. The closest thing to Taylor Swift is Lionel Messi. Wow. It's unlike anything I've ever experienced. For instance, last weekend I was at Arrowhead in Kansas City, 75,000, sold out, game right away. There's 15, 20,000 people outside the stadium tailgating, just wanting to see Messi and Suarez and Alba and Busquets. It really is unlike anything our country's ever seen. And what I mean by that is, listen, we've been blessed with some of the best athletes in sports history in our city. Tom Brady, Larry Bird, all of that. Lionel Messi touches every demographic in our country, guys. And I don't think people are fully understanding the magnitude of what that means. European, Asian, Hispanic, American, black, white, green, yellow, it doesn't matter. He is that guy. He is him. And so when he comes to town with Miami, I joke with people on social media, it is a circus, but it's a great, you want to see the circus. You want to be a part of it. You want to see it. Gillette Stadium is going to be a zoo. I hope, as I've experienced in some of these cities, that they boo Lionel Messi when he's touching the ball, that they give them a little taste of what Boston's about. I really hope I see that. I've only not seen it once, and ironically, it's in the one city that you fully expect it to not happen, and that was in New York City, guys. New York City was as pro of a Miami crowd, a Messi crowd as I've ever seen, where Nashville, they booed the hell out of them. Kansas City, not to that extent, but they were there last weekend. I want to see Boston's crowd show up. I'm just curious where the fans are all going to come from, because if it is a Boston crowd, I think it's going to be a spectacle to be had.
If it's a true Boston crowd, I think you'll get the boos and the cheers, which I'm actually interested in. I know these guys are going to the game, so I know they'll probably be yelling from wherever they are. But you're right. This is now an act, right? This is a traveling act now. This is Messi. He's healthy. So the question is, you expect him to play?
Oh, absolutely. He's made it abundantly clear to Adidas, to Apple, to all of his big sponsors, he'll play on turf. Now, he didn't play in Atlanta, but that was a real one. Last year, they were out of the playoffs. He didn't need to play at Charlotte. That game was on turf. He played on turf. And so there's 5 surfaces in this country that are all iffy for Lionel Messi to play on, and he's played on it. So, Joe, it's a real question. I get why people have asked it, but I'm as close to Miami as anyone's going to get, and from all indications, absolutely he's going to play. He's going to show up. Obviously, they play this weekend against Nashville at home, so barring any injury there, but he'll play. He'll show up, and I'm telling you guys, it's competitive games. They aren't friendlies. And, Joe, for your non-soccer listener, it's a circus, but it's a competitive circus. They're coming here to beat your brains in. Mm-hmm. It's not a friendly to try to get fit before a big tournament, to try to showcase yourself. This is 100% a league game. They're going to come here to try to beat the brains in of the Revolution, and that just makes it that much better.
Yeah, I got one last thing for you, Taylor. New stadium in Everett, you mentioned it. It was in the news last week, a couple weeks ago. How close is that to being finished or even started, I guess? And do you expect it to happen at all?
I will be stunned at the end of my next 10 to 15 years that stadium's not done. And what I mean by that, I've said this 2 or 3 times, but I said it about 4 or 5 years ago, and everyone thought I was nuts. But this is the furthest one that Robert and Jonathan have gone down the path. This is the furthest it's ever been. They are 100% committed in getting it done. They understand the magnitude of having it downtown and what it means. I, on a personal level, having been a Revolution player only in my entire career, I wish it would be up before the World Cup comes here. where you could have the trainings in the stadium. You could showcase that building for all the countries that come play their World Cup games at Gillette Stadium. Who knows if that happens, but I would be really stunned if it doesn't happen. I know a lot of people think I'm nuts, but this is the furthest it's ever been, and I've seen the eye of Jonathan Kraft. I know they want to get it done. I just hope it's sooner rather than later.
All right, Taylor, since you've looked into the eyes of Jonathan Kraft, who are the Patriots selecting with number 3 overall?
By the way, they have no idea. And I don't care what anyone tells you because, by the way, every soundbite you guys play, it changes every 24 hours from that coaching staff. They have no idea what they're doing.
And again, you've looked into the eyes of Jonathan Kraft. Do you think he's involved with who they pick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, we should just have you on more often just to ask you direct, we get transparent answers from you. It's very different.
I think because of the Brady and the Belichick thing, Joe, why wouldn't he want to be involved? They need to get this right. They need to get it right. They're desperate to get it right, especially when your ticket prices are what they are in the NFL. This city's used to winning. You got to get this right. Why wouldn't the owner be involved? I think you'd be nuts not to be.
Yeah, do you think they want a guy that's maybe won a championship in college or a kid that they can develop?
I think they will go more of the sure thing professionally versus the one with the higher upside. Absolutely. So if you're asking me if it's J.J. McCarthy or Drake May, I just feel like that organization, that coaching staff, they're going to look at J.J. McCarthy a little bit higher than Drake May.
All right, you heard it there from the eyes of Jonathan Kraft and Taylor Twellman's mouth right here on 98.5. What else you got going on, Taylor?
Lionel Messi's coming. Lionel Richie's playing at he's at the Garden.
All right. Lionel Messi. And is it Pelé or Pele? I can't remember these days. Is it Pelé?
Oh, I love you, buddy.
You'll be happy to know I explained what a center back was before you got on here.
This was fun. But our listeners need to learn it. But our listeners, they love this. Other night, they call all the time.
No, in all seriousness, I'm going to give you 20 seconds. You dedicate yourself to just talking about it, you will gain listeners in 2 seconds. The soccer fan in this country is desperate for sports talk radio to just embrace it. Not 4 hours, not 3 hours, but give yourself full 20 to 30 minutes and let them – your phones will be off the hook, I promise you.
Taylor, you are welcome anytime here on The Night Show. We appreciate your time. We look forward to seeing you broadcast next week's big game. Lionel Messi, right? Lionel Messi?
Oh, yeah, Lionel Messi, and I'm going to give him a number 20 Revs jersey.
All right. Oh, yeah, that's right. One of the classics there. He's Taylor Twellman, Patriots expert as well, joining us here tonight. Taylor, thank you so much, man. We'll catch up down the line.
See you, boys. Thanks for having me.
All right, Taylor Twellman, one of the greats. He was looking into the eyes of Jonathan Kraft. We got to put that on the website. And no, don't make it about the Patriots and then be like, oh, yeah, he talked about Messi too. Can you do that, Ryan?
On it.
Have you ever talked to a professional soccer player before?
I want to say yes, but no.
All right.
Not off the top of my head. No.
Look at that. You get an internship and you get to talk to the guy who watches Lionel Messi every week, and you got to look into the eyes of Jonathan Kraft.
Oh, yeah. Just so happens to be the best Revs player of all time.
There we go. All right. We got to hit a headline here, and we're wicked late, but you know what? Taylor Twellman, he's welcome anytime here on The Night Show. I'm Joe Murray. We'll get to the headlines.
Sports Hub headlines.
All right, Red Sox lost 5-4. Not much going on there. And we talked to Taylor Twellman, who tells us the Patriots could be interested in J.J. McCarthy. I might have to replay that one later on today. Headlines, they are brought to you by... Hey, back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. We got In or Out coming up in just a few minutes. Thanks to Taylor Twellman. Really good interview. We'll get that on the website so you can all see it, and we'll put it all over social. And I'll get you 300 words out of that one on the Patriots. How about that? We do have a giveaway right now. The New England International Auto Show is coming to the Boston Convention Center and Expo April 25th through 28th. And caller number 10 right now to the contest line at 617-931-0985 will score a pair of passes now courtesy of Paragon Group. For more info and tickets, visit bostonautoshow.com. Again, caller number 10 right now. We'll do In or Out coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Prestige Car Wash, home of the free vacuums.
Prestige Car Wash has 22 Greater Boston locations, conveniently located near you. Plus, there's a free vacuum for everyone. Check out prestigewash.com for more info.
Bernardi for now, Bernardi for life.
Spring into savings at Bernardi Toyota with our lowest prices of the year. Lease a brand new 2024 Toyota RAV4 LE with all-wheel drive for just $255 per month for 36 months with only $49.99 down. New vehicles just arrived, so go to BernardiToyota.com today. Then come in and save big at Bernardi Toyota.
Bernardi for life.
Hey, April is here, and if your windows won't open for fresh air or seal tight to keep out pollen and bugs, then talk to Window Nation. Right now, for every 2 windows you buy, you'll get 2 free. There's no limit to how much you could save. Plus, you could save even more with no interest or payments for 24 months. With proven quality, you'll get affordable windows that meet or beat the national brands. Don't miss out. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com to schedule.
Gotta know without a doubt. I'm the one you need for a dirty deed. I'm the best. Success is guaranteed.
Somebody wrote, we don't want to hurt animals. Anyways, what do we got going on tonight here, Skaz?
All right, Joe. Another edition of In or Out. We get 3 this week, which is always nice. We will start here. It is official. The Arizona Coyotes will be moving to Utah. And the new ownership group announced today that for the first season, it seems they're going to be called the Utah Hockey Team. All they've filed for so far is just it will not be Salt Lake City. It will be Utah. And they've said they will take at least a year to decide before they get an official mascot and team name. So, Joe, are you in or out on them waiting?
In. So what do you know about Utah? I only know about the Holy War. Is there mountains there?
Yes.
Okay.
Skiing, I'm pretty sure.
Probably cold. Utah is known for many things, including its national parks, the Great Salt Lake, and the Sundancers. The Utah Sundancers? Maybe I can get you Utah in. What would you call Utah, though? In on Utah, says a couple of guys. He read my fart comment. Yes, if you write it, I will read it.
So, Joe, would you like to hear the list of trademarks they filed?
Oh, yeah.
Utah Blizzard.
Out.
Utah Venom.
Out.
Utah Fury.
Out.
Utah HC.
Out.
And the Utah Hockey Club.
That would be HC.
Though 2 different ones.
Known for? What are they known for? I need real ones. Like not Kraken or something like that. What about the Coyotes? Are there Coyotes in Utah?
I don't think you can keep the name.
Why not?
That's... I feel like that doesn't happen anymore.
You know what I like? Moosehead. Are there mooses in Utah?
Gotta be.
I feel like we need a moose. I mean, the Bucks are kind of moose, right?
No more deer talk.
Yeah. We've expired the deer talk. You know, I had a bunch of people today sending me deer videos. Oh, there was a deer versus shark. Did you see that?
No, I missed that one.
Again, people send me things out of nowhere. But yes, deer versus shark. Well, all right, we've expired the deer. What else we got?
All right, Joe. Big news tonight at midnight for you and all the fellow Swifties out there. We have another Taylor Swift album dropping at midnight. I believe it's called the Tortured Poets Society. Mm-hmm. So, Joe, are you in or out on T Swift's new album?
And I haven't even heard it yet, and I'm in. You know why? Because Posty's on it.
I did see that.
Her and Post Malone doing a song together? In. Money. Listen, you may not like her, but I do.
I'm sure we'll be playing some tomorrow night.
You might not like her, everybody, but I do. And no moral high ground on the show, right? She is probably one of the greatest.
I mean, Taylor Twellman just said it's her and Messi, right?
We should get that. Yeah. The carnival act that is Miami. Now it looked at it like a
2 days in a row. I hope not.
No, I really didn't swear last night. It just it was a swear. No, I didn't intentionally swear. How about that? We all agree with that.
Yes.
Because if I wanted to let it out, I'd let it out. Wait, what was the question? Yeah, I'm in tonight. In. We're out of here at 11. I'll be home. Oh, midnight tonight, baby.
Fire it up.
Cranking it right up. In.
All right, Joe, while we're on the topic of music, Beyonce recently released her Cowboy Carter album. So now she's releasing a documentary titled Beyonce Call Me Country. Joe, are you in or out on the Beyonce Call Me Country documentary?
Yeah, get it over with. Just get it over with. I will say this. I listened a little bit more and I liked it. Generally, I'm out. But you know what? I gave it a chance.
Yeah, I thought it had a couple good songs. The Jolene was funny when she put her own twist on Jolene.
Jolene was good. The best is the Miley Cyrus one.
That song is good as well, yeah.
Know what I don't like, though? I don't like the antics. I know, not the song, the quotes that everybody has. Anyways, what else you have?
All right, Joe. Boeing, who has been all over the news for all the wrong reasons lately, has announced that they're going to launch flying cars by the year 2030. I don't believe them, but Joe, are you in or out on Boeing launching flying cars by 2030?
In.
I don't know. Have you seen what their planes are doing lately? I don't know if these are the guys I want building the flying cars.
In.
Doors flying off, malfunctions left and right.
In.
I'm not the first guy in a flying car. No thanks.
Oh, I'm not. I mean,
I'll take 15 years before I get one
I'm
of
not
those.
doing it. I did watch Fast and the Furious where they flew in the air, but that wasn't really flying. I don't know what that was. Ludicrous.
A lot of Fast and Furious and deer talk this week.
Wow. We mentioned Evan Mendez again tonight. What else we got?
All right, Joe. The Bruins were bringing back their banner captains for the playoffs, but it is the centennial year, so they said it is going to be Bruins playoff, performers that are going to be their banner captains. So, Joe, are you in or out on the Bruins playoff banner captains?
Yeah, I'm in. You know why? I went to a couple of games. Bobby Orr right in front of me. David Ortiz did it one night. Yeah. But like, they need to be warranted. They need to pass, like, a test.
Like, for me, I would say Michael Ryder is a Bruins playoff. Like, I think that's a good one.
Where's Nathan Horton?
Yeah, I would love to see him. I think we'd all love to see him. He's just, I don't know. He had that injury, and he's kind of just maybe a personal choice. I don't know. But, yeah, I would love to see him.
How about if they get past the first round, Jack Edwards?
All right, Joe. One more, since we are running late. Netflix is under fire for using AI-generated images in a documentary. It was honestly a pretty sad documentary about a woman, unfortunately, was attacked and murdered, I believe, and they used AI-generated images to make her look happier in the documentary. I think this is a pretty easy one, Joe, but are you in or out?
I'm sorry, say it again?
Yeah, so this is kind of a crazy one. Netflix is under fire for using AI-generated images.
So Netflix is using AI images, yep.
In a documentary about a young woman, unfortunately, losing her life, and they were using AI-generated images to make her look happier in the documentary, according to these reports.
Oh.
Yes.
I want to be able to judge if they're happy or not.
So from the article, it says Netflix has reportedly used AI-generated images in true crime doc What Jennifer Did to present Jennifer Pan as happy, confident, and genuine before... Oh, I'm sorry. So she was not murdered. She was convicted of murder. My apologies. So yeah, either way, it's just kind of gross to use AI-generated images in a documentary, especially about something that serious.
I'm out. And listen, what was the last one I watched? I think it was called American Nightmare. And... I don't even know if I want to say this. Have you seen the documentary at all? The American Nightmare one?
I think I saw the trailer.
It's kind of like a Gone Girl type.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I've seen it.
All I can tell you is this. In most of these documentaries, I don't want anyone to be offended when I say this, but if people actually did their jobs, it could avoid some of these things. Like, how come I can watch and figure it out in like 10 minutes? But then I have to watch a whole documentary about how they ruined the whole entire thing. Out on AI, you know why? I don't like competing against a robot. Like imagine an AI Joe.
Out.
Would they just be like making my noises?
They don't get excited about food. They can't recreate that.
No, they can't recreate it. No. 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 Like a dog. No.
Bad dog.
Robots taking over our jobs. No. Again, I feel like right now you could like play your voice to Ozzy Osbourne, and boom, there it is, Ozzy. AI Joe out. There ain't no AI Joe. Out. Anyways, that's it. That's all I got. Anything else for you? All right, well, people are on the phone lines. Oh, we got Brian Robb coming up as well. We're going to talk to B-Rob, getting the thoughts on the old green. Things are coming up green. So we'll talk to him coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
WBCFM HD1 from the Town Fair Tire Studios, the home of the Patriots, the Celts, the Revs, and the Bruins. Boston's home for sports is 98.5 The Sports Hub. Beasley Media Rotation. Sports Hub headlines.
Red Sox lost 5-4. They'll play in Pittsburgh tomorrow. We're awaiting the opponent for the Celtics. They'll either play Miami or Chicago, but both are dealing with injuries. Jimmy Butler's hurt from Miami, dealing with an MCL, while Alex Caruso injured for Chicago. And the Bruins and Toronto Maple Leafs will square off on Saturday night, 8 p.m. Of course, that game can be heard on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Headlines, they are brought to you by Eastern Massachusetts leader in drain cleaning, pipelining, Drains by James. Slow drain, clog drain. You need to contact Drains by James today at drainsbyjames.com. I'm Joe Murray. Next update, 30 minutes.
Marchand back of the net. Shoots, he scores!
This is Brad Marchand.
Marchand.
Every Bruins game on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Taylor Twellman with Joey Murr. Here's one from James Reed. Jimmy Jams 111 on Twitter. I'm out on your show. I'll make you a deal. Stop doing daytime shows, and I won't listen to you at night. So I can listen to sports without having to want to hang myself from the ceiling with floss and chewing gum in my bathroom, pick a shift, and ruin just one. Would ya? Well, James, I will tell you this. I appreciate you listening to the show. And I would also tell you, James, that although we were not the number one show from 25 to 54-year-olds, the night program here, I'm 42, we cater to a younger audience. James, I don't know how old you are, but we were number one, 18 to 49, in the market, for that matter. So people are listening, and it's okay if you don't like me. I'm not offended. But please don't use the floss and the chewing gum and in your bathroom. And I do want to work the night show. I'm here. Here we are. And yes, guys, we the young guys, the young people, the YouTubers, they love us. They love us. Also, I'm learning that Post Malone lived in Utah. Imagine if they were the Utah Posties. And here's another one that I just saw here. I just saw Salt Lake City Hornets because they play in the Beehive. How about that? The Hornets? Beehive? That'd be cool. What do you think of that, Skaz?
Sorry, I was just answering the phone there whatever. We're good back here. But that was just a poor representation of James's. I find that offensive.
You heard what I was saying there.
That came from a James.
Did James call in?
No.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm out on that. But what was the other thing? I'm sorry.
I don't know. Well, he said that he would like me to pick one shift to work.
I think you would be happy with that as well.
I would like that too, sir. And then the other thing was he wants to hang himself with floss and chewing gum.
Yeah, I don't think we need to touch that one.
No, we don't. But my thing is this: I was saying how we're the number one from 18 to 49-year-olds.
Absolutely.
So I get it. If you're a little older, maybe you don't get some of the references, like the 55 cheeseburgers, 55 whatever.
No, I appreciate him listening. Sounds like he does a lot.
We have a strong listenership from 18 to 49. We cater towards. How old are you guys?
I am 30.
Yeah, 30. Ryan Bell is 20, and I'm 42. We're covering the market. Sorry, James. And yeah, bad represent Jimmy Jams. One was his name. Well, we're going to talk to Brian Robb. He knows a little something. He's in that age demographic as well, 18 to 49. And we'll hear from him regarding the Celtics coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sport.
All right, back here 98.5, the Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. We have yet to talk a little bit of Celtics tonight. We're awaiting to find out who their opponent is. Things seem to be coming up green for the Celtics. And last night, I was talking to Skaz, and he goes, why not have B-Rob on tomorrow night? And I said, you know what? That's an excellent idea. And joining us on the Volkswagen Dealers Expert Hotline, his name is Brian Robb. He works over at Mass Live. B-Rob, how you doing, sir?
That's why Skaz is the best producer in the biz.
That's right.
Just great ideas.
Absolutely. And I said, you know what? There's a series coming up, so let's hear from B-Rob. But things are turning up green. Would you say with some of the injuries that may be happening in the Eastern Conference?
It's funny, Joe. I feel like I've written this column like 2 or 3 years in a row for like the Celtics past. Like couldn't get any better than this. Whether it was the bubble in 2020 or last season once the Heat took out the Bucks in the first round. But this time, Joe, there's like ideal paths, and then there's like what the Celtics are looking at here, because you have a Heat team that is going to be down 3 or 4 rotation players, it looks like, for a potential series. A Bulls team that you don't even have to worry about if they do win. And then after that, Cleveland and Orlando, those are both teams that shouldn't keep Joe Mazzulla up at night either. So have the Sixers, the Knicks, and the Bucks all on the opposite side of the bracket where you only have to worry about one of those teams and not until the conference finals. That's as good as a path that you could draw up in, Brad Stevens' dreams there, I feel like.
I heard they had a hard practice the other day. Al Horford talked about a 3-hour practice, but do you think they see that, or do you think they're completely focused on I call it Missoula ball, and I think they can front run, when I say front run, play Celtics basketball without having close games. Does this make it easier to play that style to get to the finals?
I think it does, because I think you have the teams you're going to face, particularly defensively. They don't have a lot of guys that can, slow you down and keep you from playing the type of basketball play that type of spreading you out, getting out in transition. They just have there's not a lot of defensive weapons on this Miami team without Jimmy Butler, and certainly not on this Bulls team. Now, in round 2, it could get a little dicier against Cleveland and Orlando, or more legitimate defensive teams there. But if you're talking about round 1 here and the Celtics, coming out of the gate the way they want to play, this is certainly the type of teams you want to be able to do it against, because Miami is not the same defensive team as they were last year, and Chicago is just a team that wants to get up and down, and they're not as good at doing that as the Celtics are.
So Skaz wrote an article at 985thesportshub.com suggesting, or actually commenting, that the NBA regular season matters. And to get into it, here we are in the play-in games right now. These are the regular season. Would you agree with that, B-Rob? This is still the regular season? Yeah,
I think it's certainly, it's more revenue. They don't. It's funny. These games are in the no man land. They don't count for playoffs or regular season. But yeah, clearly these are regular season games. You're going to have to pick one.
Okay, so here they are in play-in games. Jimmy Butler hurts his MCL. Alex Caruso has an injury. Zion, right? He had an injury against the Lakers as well in 76ers. Joel Embiid labored in that game. So when you really look at it, the regular season does matter, and I feel like the Celtics, it's overblown. Like, oh, yeah, the best record in the league, whatever. No, the regular season matters because I think we're seeing it right now in the NBA with the play-in tournament.
Without a doubt. I think it's a great point by describing that piece, because the Celtics did their work early. They got ahead of the pack, and the reason why they're healthy right now is because they've been able to rest guys essentially for the last month of the regular season. And minutes have been able to go down. Porzingis, Horford, those guys are not having to play back-to-backs, blah, 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 blah. Everyone is in great shape there. There's no concerns there. Everyone else kind of, contenders throughout the Eastern Conference, they all came out sluggish, or they just had really rough stretches of the year, whether it was the Bucks post-Doc hire. The Knicks have obviously been ravaged by injuries. The Cavs have been dysfunctional there. We know the Sixers completely fell apart after Embiid got hurt, but the Heat seemingly didn't try all regular season long and got, like I said, they put themselves in the situation where it's like, all right, you have to play more games, you have to play games hard at the end of the regular season and have things kind of ramp up on them here. And now, like you said, the fallout is important guys are getting hurt or having to play in games they shouldn't be having to play in the case of Embiid. And that's left a situation where, the Celtics have put themselves in a terrific spot here and look to be able to continue that in this postseason based on the fact that these teams below them that are supposedly contending in the East are in much tougher spots.
All right, Brian Robb joining us here on 98.5 The Sports Hub, also reporter from Mass Live. Still Potable as well. You're still doing that podcast, right?
Oh, yeah, we're doing it every Monday through Friday. You can check it out, patreon.com.
All right. And the Celtics, what was their record this year versus their two potential first-round opponents?
That would be 6-0, Joe.
So who would you rather see?
I think you have to go with the Bulls. Even with Jimmy Butler out for the Heat at this point, and Terry Rozier still dealing with the neck thing too, Eric Spoelstra is still going to find a way to, give Tatum and Brown a headache in a game or two. It feels like just with the zone defenses, mucking it up. But whereas the Bulls, you have guys that, DeRozan is legit, but Vooch seems to be over the hill, and their younger guys, Cody White, Ayo Dosunmu, like those guys don't really scare you, and it's certainly not a 7-game series there. So I think the Celtics should win both series pretty easily, but I think there'd be a little bit more heavy lifting against the Heat at this point, just based on the coaching matchup and the demons of the past, if you will. Are you a believer in that, Joe? Do you think it would be?
Yeah.
Does this remind you of 2022 at all, of exercising your demons against the Heat here, a la the Nets?
I like that because remember Brooklyn a couple of years ago, they beat them and kind of took care of business. It helped. I think there is something about that. Chicago, I have the old thoughts though. The back in the day. With the Rondo team. Remember that team? That was.
Oh yeah, no, that was one of the best first round series ever. Like 2009, that was an incredible series.
Yeah, that was a really good series. So B-Rob, I just would like you to know that I think this. I'm not a green teamer. I crush them when they don't play well, and I support them when they do very well. And I will tell you that I think that they've been. Hiding their cards, I would say, over the last couple of weeks. I don't think they've been showing other teams everything. I haven't been worried about some of the losses they had. Like the Denver loss, I wasn't upset about because their best player had a wide open shot and just happened to miss it to go ahead. That's going to be something under the microscope here. You probably have seen Jason Tatum's postseason numbers, right? Very good. One of the best shooters in postseason history. So the more I look at it, I still want Jason Tatum to be the guy to take the shot. Now, I want it to be a well-designed shot, not a 19-dribble off-balance shot. But I ask you this because I get criticized for saying it. Who do you want taking the last shot?
No, I'm with you. If more times than not, you want Tatum to be that guy. And if you're just given one choice there. With that said, I'm with you. You want him getting how he gets that shot and where he gets that shot is what matters to me more, the process of getting into that shot, because he is the best player in the team. He does have the height to shoot over a lot of guys, especially in mismatch. So that's ideally, and I trust him to create more than I trust Jaylen Brown to create in a one-on-one situation like that. With that said, it's on Mizzou, whoever it needs to be on to get them going in these situations to initiate some ball movement, so the ball finds Tatum in a spots where he can use, get an advantage or create an advantage a little bit easier, rather than waiting 15 seconds and then the double team coming with 3 seconds left, so he just has no other choice but to throw up a prayer. That's where he's gotten himself into trouble here. But I'm with you, Joe. This is Tatum has had a rough stretch here in the clutch this year, but if you go over the course of his career, he's had some really big games with his back against the wall, whether it was Game 6 against the Sixers last year, Game 6 against the Bucks on the road, and in 2022 when they went to the finals. He's shown up in a lot of those spots, and it's easy to forget about those now. So you're going to clearly the ball needs to touch his hands in those situations in crunch time, and whether it just needs to touch his hands in better spots.
I totally agree with that. I think they can front run their way to a championship. And what I mean by that is beating teams and they lay down. and they've done it all year long. 76% of the time they did it this year. So I will bet on that because I'm a bettor and I like to bet on high percentages. One last thing, B-Rob. I think you got a little nugget regarding Jeff Van Gundy. We know about Charles Lee coming in this year and Sam Cassell, and Jeff Van Gundy was brought in. Can you shed some light on his role with the Celtics this season?
Yeah, no. So Brad Stevens talked to us a little bit about that this week in his kind of end of season press conference. And it's like just being on the road, following the team all year long. But like Van Gundy's been with the big club a lot here, like on the road trips, at shoot-arounds, at practices, before games at TD Garden, just watching the guys will go up to warm up. So initially it was being like, oh, he's going to split his time between Maine and Boston. But I think as this season has ratcheted up and as this became more and more of where the Celtics priorities are, like this is obviously the top contender in the league. Like Van Gundy has just been a voice to Joe Mazzulla, to I think at the trade deadline, to consulting in terms of the front office there, guys they like, working a guy like Twellman in that front. And so it's clear that it's worked well. And I think he's been, to be honest, Joe, I think he's been a pretty close friend of Brad Stevens over the years, regardless, through his time through broadcasting. I've even, spotted them a couple years ago just out having lunch in the middle of a playoff series together that Van Gundy was broadcasting. So this relationship, I think, goes back a while, and we'll see here. I mean, he likes to stay, behind the scenes, if you will. But if they end up winning a title here, I'll be interested to see, again, him talk about his role and whether that propels him potentially to a coaching, get back into a head coaching role down the line, or whether he likes this consulting role for the long term here.
All right, B-Rob, you got the game on Sunday. You all ready to go?
Yeah, give me the 1 o'clock start all day. Love a good afternoon game for the playoffs. Love not having to start writing stories at midnight, and I think it'll be a pretty juiced up Garden crowd. They've been great really all season long, and to come off, you get Bruins Saturday night, Celtics Sunday afternoon. What a great weekend to be in Boston here.
Wake up and ball. I love that. It should be a slogan.
Nothing better.
Let's wake up and ball. He's Brian Robb, writes over at Mass Live. He'll be at the game this Sunday. He's our expert, and he joined us here tonight on 98.5 The Sports Hub. B-Rob, thank you, sir. Hope all is well.
All right, you too, Joe. Pleasure. I look forward to talking all playoff long here.
You got it. He's Brian Robb, everybody. B-Rob does a great job over at MassLive.com. We got to take a look at the Sports Hub headlines here. And there's some odds out there. Interesting odds regarding number 1, number 2, number 3 pick. We'll do that next here on the Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
Red Sox lost 5-4. Rafael Devers not going on the injured list. Celtics will play the winner of Miami and Chicago, but Miami's going to miss some time. Jimmy Butler. We get the musings coming up at the end of the hour. I had something happen to me today that kind of drove me nuts. Joe loving the empty chair. Ryan put a something there. Derek White has been clutch this year. I love the caller sign. Somebody Einbein wrote that. There's a bucket under it. There's a bucket in the corner over there. I don't know what that is over there. But 61 people currently watching on YouTube at the moment, and I guess earlier it spiked. That's what we need. I told you we're big to the 18 to 49 crowd. That doesn't mean we don't welcome the 50 plus. We get a lot of 50 plus callers. But the kids, they're into it. You know what the kids are into? Gambling. And the draft, baby. Let me tell you. The draft is great to bet on. So I'll give you one right off the bat before we give you some of the latest that just came out. But there is an over-under on DraftKings right now on where J.J. McCarthy will end up. The over-under is 5.5. Pick 5.5. So that's one I'm circling. I'm looking at that one. But there's a few other odds out there. Right now, Caleb Williams is clear-cut number one pick. And if Jaden Daniels somehow goes number one, it would be plus 3,500. So I don't see that happening. The number two pick had Jaden Daniels as somewhat of a heavy favorite. That number is going back a little bit. It's now right around minus 190. I know we have a caller, Gabe in West Roxbury, who calls and all. He's been tweeting me all night, and Lifshats has been on the tweet, so he's all over it. But the fourth, we'll give you the third pick odds too while we're going through this here. But the third pick in the odds that they have right now is Drake May plus 105. It's now moved up to minus 115 to go third overall. Jaden Daniels is still there. And then Marvin Harrison Jr. is the third one. Thought that was interesting. Marvin Harrison Jr. is the favorite for the fourth pick. Malik Neighbors is the overall for the fifth pick. J.J. McCarthy comes in at plus 275. The Giants at 6, Malik Neighbors is the favorite, followed by J.J. McCarthy. So if you're looking at that 5.5, I'd go over. Right now, guys, people think it's going to be the first four quarterbacks. I'd bet over. 5.5 is it's a good number. You agree? So I just wanted to at least give you those numbers, but there has been a shift. And what happened earlier, and I think this was on BetMGM, so again, whatever book you use. But earlier I saw that Jaden Daniels was at a minus 165 at one point for the second pick. I thought that was low. The fourth pick's interesting. We mentioned Marvin Harrison's minus 200, J.J. McCarthy's plus 250. Drake May's still on there, plus 750. So as far as the odds go, there's a little bit of movement. A little bit of movement. And listen, I think right now it's a pricing game. If you want J.J. McCarthy at number 4, or if you think he's going at the fourth pick, you can get him right now at plus 1,500. I'm going to tell you, that might not be a bad investment. $10, you win $150. Although I don't think it happens. So I want to take the over 5.5. So you can hedge this too. You could take the over 5.5 and bet the plus 1,500. And middle. Either way, the odds are indicating Jaden Daniels 2, Drake May 3. But yet, the Patriots, this is what we've learned. This is what we've learned in how long have we been here? 2 hours and 47 minutes. The Patriots are wide open. A.J. Brown, the Patriots have called. Taylor Twellman says that Jonathan Kraft will be involved in making the decision. That's what we've learned tonight. Oh, and that Drake May is the favorite to go to the Patriots. Anything else we're missing there, Skaz?
I'm excited for this music. Seems like something really got to you today.
Yeah. By the way, there's another book that's out there right now. Second pick overall, Drake May minus 115, Jaden Daniels minus 115. I wonder what book that was.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Well, we got a week to go. We got a week to go here. But caller number 10 right now to the Volkswagen Dealers Expert Hotline will win tickets to the New England Auto Show. I've been there. Spent many years in the automotive business, let me tell you. It's fun. The New England International Auto Show coming to Boston Convention and Expo Center April 25th through 28th. Caller number 10 to the contest line at 617-931-0985. We'll score a pair of passes now, courtesy of the Paragon Group. For more info and tickets, visit bostonautoshow.com. Caller number 10 right now. We got the Musings, Murray's Musings, coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. You're listening to Joe Murray.
chance of dropping that into YouTube so you can listen to the whole entire interview. Let me get this out of the way, guys. The Musings, I haven't really complained in a while. I've been always kind of finding a story or whatever. This one, down the road, I'm sure you know where I went. And I haven't been talking about this place in a while because I'm going to tell you the last 7 or 8 times I've gone in there, I feel like there's like my photo is in the employee lounge. Like if you see this guy, he talks about us. That's the kind of treatment I've been getting of late. The last time I was there, not today, but the 2 weeks before or whatever, I had some of the worst experience I ever had. I went to the deli counter. I got my ticket. I waited in line. And a guy just goes, "Hey, can I get a bag of these?" And the woman just like gave him the bag. And I go, "Hey, I got a ticket in my hand." I was pissed. There was the grab and go. You know, the little station where they put them out there and you just grab and you go. I bought 2 Celsius and jumbo chicken tenders with blue cheese, ranch, and guys, I put it on the little, what do they call it, roller? Little roller thing. But you know how there's dividers? You get your little divider. Are you a divider? Like when you put your stuff up there, do you always divide?
If I'm like behind someone, yeah, I'll put one up.
You're a divider.
Yeah, I think it's common courtesy.
I'm going to tell you, there was no divider. I looked for a divider. There wasn't. I looked. So when I looked away, she rang. It was da-na-na-na-na-na. Should I stay or should I? Like I was waiting it out. I was going to wonder if the guy was going to pay for it and then be like, "Oh, this is yours." Yeah, thanks. And I would have just walked out.
Trying to get a free meal.
I wasn't trying to get a free meal, but when the opportunity arises.
You're an opportunist.
Oh, yes.
Joey Hustles over there.
Definitely an opportunist.
Joey Opportunities.
So then, he didn't say anything, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's that Catholic guilt I have. I went, "Miss, those are mine." She goes, "Well, I couldn't tell because there was no divider." And I said, "Miss, you don't have dividers." "Yes, I do." "Could you point out where the dividers are so I will know next time?" I don't like inconveniencing people. Like that's a Joe problem, not a you problem. It's a Joe problem. I don't like inconveniencing people. I hate it. I hate asking, "Hey man, do me a favor, man." I hate it. I will not ask. I'm just not. I'm that kind of guy. I won't do it. So I inconvenienced the guy ordering, the manager, the woman, and me. So I ask this: what do you do in the case of no divider? Do I hold it in my hands? Do I not put it on the runner? I'm thinking of a solution here. Should I have kept it in a basket? Should I have just given the guy my money? I was really thinking of a way out of this one because it took forever. What would you have done, Skaz?
I probably would have done the same thing you did and just tried to see if he would pay for it.
What would Skaz do? Yeah, right. You would have opportunists too. I really thought about just giving the guy a $20 bill and walking out,
just to save yourself the time.
Yeah, because done. Oh, I was aggravated. You can tell, right? Can you tell? Can you tell? So, I wish that this was something that happened on Tim Robinson's show. What would he have? He would have made a scene, right? Or he would have just looked at him
you
like,
have to divide.
Huh? Me? What? What are you talking about? So, what do you do if you have no divider?
You just hold on to the items, I guess.
Someone told me to keep a closer eye on it. Venting his frustration because he didn't get the food for free. That is not the case. I was going to give the guy a $20 bill. Take it back.
I like that narrative.
Chronicle.
That chronicle. You're going to have to beat it out of me.
This show doesn't promote bowel enough.
We did. You did drop one in Slack earlier today. I might have to revisit that.
You know what?
Later.
Can we do it now?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
All right, yeah. We'll or that would basically guilty or not guilty was the joke about farts. I don't have a bit for you.
There's no bit with this.
We're just gonna play it. We're gonna let it rip. Here we go, Skaz.
Still got a couple of days going through. Coach and I haven't sat down and gone through the final board yet.
You gotta slow that one down for me. Can you do it again? Play the whole thing again.
Still got a couple of days going through. Coach and I haven't sat down and gone through the final.
That was that sounded like a stomach rumble more than a ripple. Excuse me. So you're gonna have to really use your creative juices back there, Skaz. But we need a ripple in real time.
Still got a couple of days going through. Coach and I haven't sat down and gone through the final board yet. Still got a couple of days.
After you hear the rip. Let's hear it one more. He did say excuse me, which you're
down and go. Excuse me, gone through.
One more time. I think he confessed. Saying sorry is a confession.
Down and go. Excuse me, gone through.
Yeah, that's a no-doubter to me.
That's a confession.
That's a no-doubter. Guilty.
We don't even need to go to court.
No. He confessed.
So can you highlight it and like slow it down a little bit? Like I need to hear if this is from the bowels or is it from the belly? Because like sometimes they just slip out. And again, number one rule on the show here is never trust a fart. Never trust a fart. that was a fast one. Can we slow it down a little bit more though? It sounds like a bowels, like the bowel of the belly, the bowel of the beast. Let it rip. I love farts. Keep that going for a little bit.
That's a fart.
That's a fart, but do you talk and fart?
No, he pauses.
Yeah, let's hear it in the whole again, please.
Still got a couple of days going through. Coach and I haven't sat down and gone through the final. Still got a couple of days.
He clearly stops. Like,
yeah, that was like a lean to the left.
Oh yeah, you watch his face. He's like, oh.
What was he talking about? Who is it? It's the Jags? About the draft?
Oh yeah, it's Kendra's guy, Trent Baalke. Favorite guy.
Oh man. Not taking a bit.
Final.
We don't even need a judge for this one.
Sit down and go. Excuse me, gone through the final. Sit down and go. Excuse me, gone.
We should save that as a drop. Like whenever, like, I don't know why. I'm just, excuse me. But sometimes there is like the indigestion where you get that like weird burp that sounds like that too.
No, that was yeah.
You don't think that was a mouth?
That was downstairs.
That was not a. It did not come out of the mouth. I need it one more time.
Sat down and go. Excuse me, gone through the final. Sat down and go.
Excuse me.
You can hear him like inhale before, like he's like preparing for it.
Excuse me, gone through the final. Sat down and go. Excuse me, gone through.
You can hear the inhale right before.
Go. go, excuse me.
Hear him like suck in wind right before.
The whole thing is this. He said, excuse me. I'm not even giving him a hard time. Like, Trent, if you were my buddy, I'd be like, hey, man, I'm glad you acknowledged that you farted.
That's a football guy.
You know what I don't like? Another musings, if we could. If I fart, I admit it. You know how it's like, hey, who farted? Like, silent but deadly and nobody can. I will always confess when I have passed gassed. Like, oh, who did it, bro? Joe, I know it was you. Why? Because I'm a fat guy? No, I admit it, and you'll know when it's me.
Down and go, excuse me, God.
Happy birthday today to Kourtney Kardashian. I don't know. Conan O'Brien. 60 years old. I don't know who Chloe Bennett is, but happy birthday to you.
And something I should have included in or out as well is Conan O'Brien has a new show coming out tonight.
That's right.
It's
It's on TBS?
It's actually an HBO show.
Oh!
So it's on Max, I believe. And it's basically a version of Conan Without Borders. It's a travel show where he travels around the world to different fans, houses and stuff like that, and spends time with them. Looks pretty good. But yeah, weird that it came out on his birthday.
I like
cool
Conan.
Coincidence.
Maybe,
yeah, I mean,
maybe that's why it came out tonight.
Yeah.
Plus, there's no NBA and nothing else is
Good
really
night
on,
for it.
So, happy birthday to Jeff Dunham. Melissa Joan Hart. Wow, I didn't realize she was 5 years older. Did you see Clarissa? Oh, you know her as Sabrina.
Yes, we've
done this one before. Yeah, she was Clarissa to me all day.
How about former Celtic Nate Archibald?
Ooh, tiny.
76 years old today.
Good for him. I think Max is friends with him.
6-time All-Star.
He was tiny. Wow, Miguel Cabrera is 40 years old. This picture does him no justice. There's a lot of people I don't know who they are, but I want to wish them happy birthday.
How about David Tennant? Do you know who that is?
Nope.
Very, very good actor. He's Doctor Who, Broadchurch. He was in some of the Harry Potter movies. He's 52 today.
Wow.
Or 53, I'm sorry.
James Woods, 77 years old, was in Casino. Was in a lot of movies. You mentioned Conan O'Brien already. Who is Maria Bayo?
Yeah, she was in the Barbie movie. Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Traveling Pants?
I think that's the name of the movie.
Rick Moranis, 71 years old.
Wow. Love Rick Moranis.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Blew Up the Kids, and Ghostbusters.
Spaceballs.
Oh, Darth Vader.
Darth Helmet.
Oh, man, I can't even repeat my favorites. All right, anything else tonight, guys?
No, I think that's it.
Can we hear the fart one more time going in?
Of course.
All right, we will go to break from a... should we call it a bulky? And the award goes to Best Fart of the Day, the Bulky Awards. Let's listen to a fart, and then we'll get the headlines.
Still got a couple of days going through. Coach and I haven't sat down and gone through the final. Still got a couple of days.
WBCFM bus from the Town Fair Tire Studio, the home of the Bruins, Patriots, Revs, and Celtics.
Come on, Max, step back three is good.
Boston's home for sports is 98.5, the Sports Hub, the Beasley Media Group station. Sports Hub headlines.
Red Sox lost 5-4. They went 3-4 on their homestand. That's not good. They're 10-10 on the year. And they'll go to Pittsburgh. Patriots had a talk today. Well, it was really Elliot Wolf who talked to all of us, said they're open for business. What else happened today? There's really nothing going on. There's nothing. Headlines are brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. I'm Joe Murray. Your next update in a bulky.
Let's go to 3 minutes. Jalen jumps the passing back.
Every game
Up top, Pasternak. Here it comes.
is one step closer to the goal.
There's the steal. Flies over Grayson.
This is the home of the Bruins and the Celtics and their road to the playoffs. Boston's home for sports. 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Cock and fart was a great Double Dare challenge. Was that a real thing? I love Double Dare. You guys are too young. Joe, can you talk about why Jaden Daniels' draft odds have changed? I already did. Well, did you see Double Dare?
Was that like the aggro crag and stuff? Was that Double Dare?
No, it was more. It started off. The show started with on your mark, get set, go, and they would have to do physical challenges. And then they'd all line up. It's kind of like a Family Feud. Hey, what are you doing here? Where you from? Da 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 da. And then they would like ask questions, and if you didn't know, you'd say physical challenge. And then the physical challenge was like you know, lifting boxes and or getting slimed. You know, like it was a cool Nickelodeon show with Mark Summers.
Okay, I think the one I'm thinking of was a local guy hosted it, Mike something. Maybe I'm.
Mike O'Malley.
Yes,
yeah, good
so
dude.
What was that? Was the one I remember.
That might have been Double Dare too,
but it was like a newer version.
Yeah,
maybe?
yeah.
I always liked him.
Mike O'Malley, good dude. He's a couple of movies. I've seen him around a couple of times. Wow, the Red Sox have acquired Vladimir Guerrero from the Brewers in exchange for cash. So it looks like this is another player that they have acquired. Remember last year they got Vladimir Gutierrez, a Cuban professional baseball pitcher. So he's a pitcher. He's 28 years old. I will look up his baseball reference for you. 10 wins, 12 losses in his career. This year, he has pitched in one game and has a 6.75 ERA where he pitched 4 innings, 3 earned, 1 home run, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Solid. Solid. That's who they get to pitch now. Hey, Topher's on the line. Topher!
Yo, what's going on, my Joe?
All right, bro. I know you sent me a photo of the wings. So, real quick, when you go to purchase your wings, right? Do you want them sealed in like a big like package, or do you grab multiple packages of wings?
So I actually do like what it's called. It's like Bell and Evans. They got the Ziploc. It's like airtight sealed.
Yeah.
The wings have been like phenomenal since I got them.
So what'd you use to put on the wings?
So lemon pepper is one. I did taco seasoning on another. And then the hot and spicy Japanese barbecue sauce I sent you as well.
Oh, Skaz had some of that that Hawaiian barbecue sauce. So I can only imagine that the sauces are. Oh.
By the way, Skaz, first off, what's up? Secondly, the show you're thinking of, Mike O'Malley was in, was Guts.
Guts!
Yes, that's right, Guts.
Sorry.
That was also a Nickelodeon.
I got confused. I'm old. You're older than me, though. There was a guy who just called who called to correct us about the Mike O'Malley. You said it, and he hung right up.
Oh, I just said what the show was. That was it. Oh, my God.
So how are you cooking these wings? Oven, air fryer, what?
Oh, pure oven.
Temperature?
Soak down in the water, dried up. They set out for like about 5 minutes.
Do you have a cat?
And then I throw them in a bowl.
Do you have a cat?
I do.
It's purring at me.
You hear it? She's a vocal wonder. Yeah.
Does she want to get on the air?
Probably. She's been watching you actually on YouTube.
Oh, that's what. Maybe that's maybe there's like a familiarity for the cat.
Maybe. I like it because I actually got the YouTube with the TV's actually in the living room, and I can see it right through the kitchen.
So you're in the kitchen watching on YouTube while cooking wings, and you're telling me about how you prepped it and cooked it. Have you ate it yet?
Yes, I've had 2 of them so far.
Now, do you rip the wings when you eat them, or do you eat them one at a time and then rip?
I do one at a time.
Me too.
So this way I can just savor it up.
Yeah, I like to rip it. I like to rip it and then bite it.
Way to go.
Did you hear the fart?
Dude, you knew that man actually let one go because he was pure. Excuse me. Like, you knew it was in and out Come on.
I just tell you right now, if you're going to do it, just admit it. No one's going to fault you. It's when you do it and don't admit it that people will fault you.
I hate the fact that the only time someone actually admits it is when it's engulfing the air and you can smell it and you're halfway choking, and then someone just walks by and is like, yeah, that was me. Dude, I'm sorry.
All right, Topher, I got one for you.
Sure.
It might be a little gross, but the Joe show is very intimate, as you may know.
I can handle it.
Can you, when someone farts, can you smell what they ate?
Oh, somebody asked me this before. Man, it depends. I mean, I've smelled potato chips off of one before. It was kind of weird. Sometimes, yeah. You can especially know when someone has something spicy and they just had something sitting right in their colon that it just blasts out.
Is that where it sits?
It's either that or like they just got a Bruin somewhere, man.
Yeah, I wonder. I think that's what I was saying about Bulky. I think his was in the dungeon of bowel.
Oh, I don't know what I think about that.
Well,
I know it's yeah. I'm thankful I wasn't there because if you got the air on that one, I wouldn't want to think about it.
All right, Topher. Anything else?
No, that's it. Still been enjoying the show.
All right, well, take a photo.
The only thing I'm like,
what's that?
The only thing I'm bummed out about is I can't comment on YouTube while I watch.
Yeah, we got to figure that out. We'll Tim's on vacation, so when he comes back, we'll figure that out.
All right, man.
All right, Topher.
Continue to listen.
Tweet out.
Have a good night. I'll post pictures.
Yeah, tweet out a photo of that. Thank you, Topher. I've met Topher at multiple of our remote broadcasts that we have done. Joe's in New Hampshire. Hey, Joe.
Hey, Joe. So Maria Bello was in a movie that I think you'd really enjoy. It's called The Cooler. Total gambling.
Yeah, I've seen it.
So that's the woman you're speaking of. That's her birthday today.
Oh.
Not Maria Bello. Maria Bello.
Bello. I have friends named Bello. Lots of friends. Isn't the guy from what's his name there? The guy who
Shameless.
The guy who blew his brains out in
William H. Macy, Alec Baldwin. But another one you might like that she's in is A History of Violence, which is Viggo Mortensen, and it's actually really quality stuff.
Are you like a Mr. Skin? Like, do you follow women in movies?
Well, not entirely, because I think she's gay now, so I'm not really going down that vein, you know?
Well, I don't care. I mean, she's beautiful.
No, but I'm a big movie guy. I worked overseas for a long time, so I didn't really watch a lot of American television. I just watched films.
Is there a film you would recommend that you think I would like?
I think you'd like A History of Violence. If you like Ed Harris, he's been in a lot of stuff.
I liked him in the new Top Gun.
Yeah, so, I mean, and he's been a stud for a long time.
I like fighting movies. Like Unbuck was one of my favorites.
He can dial it back, but I just like the fact that he's been a really stern kind of character. He doesn't have to be a criminal, but he's always pretty it's like a Harrison Ford that ages well, you know?
Mm-hmm. Thanks, man.
Different character.
Appreciate you. James is in the car. Hey, James.
Joey, how you doing?
How you doing?
Good, man. Big fan. Listen, I two things. One, constructive criticism. You're talking way too much about how old you are.
What's your problem?
To a point where it's just...
What's your problem with
You're not that old, buddy.
What's your problem, though?
I don't have a problem. I love
well, you called in. You got a problem. I can handle constructive criticism, but what is constructive criticism about my age?
I know. I'm saying you're not that old. You don't have to keep saying you're old.
I'm older than the guys I work with.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So when I speak to them and you. How old are you?
I'm 32.
Cool. We're 10 years apart. I brought up age again. Does it piss you off?
But I get all your references. Like you're acting.
I know, but I'm acting like. Why do you call into my show to tell me about me talking about my age too much? Why does it bother you?
I don't know. I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying.
Why do I need? I need your help.
You don't need help. My second.
No. That's insulting. No, you call. I just want you to know, constructive criticism is fine, but you're insulting.
No, I'm not.
You're not insulting. You're not insulting.
No.
You called to give me criticism to help me. Like I need your help. No, for real.
No, dude.
How would you take it if I did that to you? What if I was like,
no.
What if I was like, hey, James, you're 32. You don't know anything, man. That's
I don't
insulting, right?
All right. my
Let me
second point, what do you think of the Kowloon expansion?
Let me help you.
What do you think of the Kowloon expansion?
They're some of my best friends, and I think that they should be all over New England.
I know. I agree. I think it's a great move, and I'm excited.
Where are you from?
I'm from Wakefield.
You're from
Actually,
Wakefield.
speaking of, have you ever been to Billy's roast beef?
Absolutely.
Fantastic beef.
Yeah. How old are they?
I don't know. So you probably don't know Guts.
Guts the show?
Yeah, Guts the show.
Yeah,
You're probably too old for.
Mike O'Malley.
Yeah. Remember Suzanne Summers?
I remember Suzanne Summers more for her leg exercises than Three's Company.
You know what's crazy?
Step by step.
She was an Olympic swimmer, and then she became the host of, what was it? Oh, God. Was it Double Dare? No, not Double Dare.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Joey.
What was she the host of?
Fuck.
Ah, dummy up. You can't swear, you idiot. You're an idiot. You're too young. You blame me about my age, and then you swear. Oh! Ow! Ow! Let me help you.
I don't think he was trying to be mean.
No, I don't think he was either. But you know what, Skaz? If I told you how to do your job and help you, if I said, hey, Skaz, let me help you. Like you need my help?
I thought he took that pretty well.
Why am I so pissed?
I have no idea. He literally called in to say, hey, Joe, you're not that old, and you got pissed at
Let
him.
me help you. No, you know why?
That pissed you off. But his original point was, hey, Joe, you're not that old, man. You don't need to say you're old. You're a young guy. And you got pissed.
I didn't take it like that. I didn't take it like that at all. But when someone says, let me help you.
Yeah, that I can understand that setting you off.
Like you're at home calling my show, wanting to help me.
I think he meant well.
You know how sometimes delivery and tone...
It's a tone issue.
You know what, James? I think we should do this again tomorrow. But here's the deal. Don't swear.
Yeah, no swearing, please.
I have to take this. Andrew's in New Hampshire.
Hey, I don't know how I can top that, man. And I'm 35, but...
You know what? Everybody tell me your age for the rest of the night when you call in.
But the answer to that, it was Figure It Out, the one from Summer Sanders.
Thank you.
But I'm old enough. One quick thing, not to talk about Nickelodeon, but you remember Nick Arcade?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. And then Summers did another show. It was What Would You Do?
What would you? What would you? What would you do?
Yep, they did the obstacle course. You have to pick the nose to get the flag and then go through, you know.
Oh, I know, bro. Then there was like Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Yeah, another classic.
And
that's like, yep.
Snick on Saturday nights.
Oh, yeah. Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh, yeah.
Classic.
I hate clowns because of that. I'm sorry, James in Wakefield. I don't know what it was. You pissed me off. And now Skaz makes me feel bad about it.
No. I think getting upset about the help thing was justified. I was just saying his original point. He was trying to
let me help you.
Be nice.
Let me help you. We'll go to break. We should probably do a headline after the break as well. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
to the Guardians. Now they take a trip to Pittsburgh. They also acquired a pitcher named Mr. Gutierrez. He came over from Milwaukee. He hasn't been good. Still waiting on the old opponent for the Celtics. But Jimmy Butler's hurt. Alex Caruso's hurt. Celtics will play one of those hurt teams. And we're waiting the Bruins, who play Toronto on Saturday night. Headlines, they are brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com for 15% off your next drive-through oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Now open in Rainham, Reading, and Braintree. I'm Joe Murray. Your next update is tomorrow.
Don't go anywhere.
All right, I've been holding this one in my back pocket for a little while now. Oh, Andrew, good talking to you about Nickelodeon after that last weird phone call. I like how people call in and I don't know who they are, and then they tweet me, and then I can associate with, oh, yeah, you're the guy from Twitter. And I see our friends on YouTube. They haven't heard me. So, again, yes, guys, I'm the nicest guy in the world, but also if you piss me off, I can sound very mean and angry, and that guy pissed me off, and maybe he meant it. It was coming from a good place, and I'm not backtracking it or taking it back at all. Again, I apologize, but I am not sorry for yelling at you. Ryan Bell, when you get into college, right, that you got to drop that line on somebody, man. Right? I apologize, but I'm not sorry. All right, I've been holding this one for a little bit here, but all the people who are like, yeah, Jason Tatum, he can't shoot. He's one of the. I looked it up. I've been holding this one for a while. Jason Tatum clutch shooting playoff numbers. He's been very effective on field goal percentages, both 2 and 3 pointers. He sits at 51% in NBA clutch situations. The league standard is 47%. Did you know that, Skaz? 47%. He's 51. To me, that's good. You know? But there is this unpredictable.com that has a double clutch stat. Have you ever heard of this? And, well, his double clutch numbers, not that great. So I looked up playoff shooting performers. Or from this season, excuse me. LeBron James, 55% clutch, 67% in double clutch. SGA, 53 clutch, 57 double clutch. Malik Monk had a 54 double clutch. De'Aaron Fox had a 50%. Anthony Edwards, Jalen Brunson was 48. Kobe White was 46. Donovan Mitchell, 46. Nikola Jokic, 46%. DeMar DeRozan, 42. Kevin Durant, 41. This is all that double clutch. Karl Anthony Towns, 39. Lillard, 38. Deontay Murray, 36. Tyrese Maxey, 36. Jason Tatum in double clutch comes in at 24%. But if you really look at it, he is essentially in the top 5 when it comes to clutch field goal percentage. So your indispensable double clutch, whatever it is, defining shots, crucial to game outcomes, the win probability, whatever. Yep, he's 24%. He has 19 attempts. The next highest, I believe, was DeMar DeRozan. He had 26 attempts, 42%. Do you look at DeMar DeRozan as a clutch shooter? Like, are you one of these guys who's like, man, DeMar is one of the best clutch shooters in the league? I don't even look at him. Plays for the Bulls, right? Might see him in the first round. All I'm saying is this. If you're going to compare everything to double clutch numbers, then make up your own stats everywhere. That's a whack stat. Double clutch. Out on your numbers and your analytics. Here's your analytic. 51% in late game shooting. The league average is 47%. Don't give me your double clutch. Out. Anything to add to that?
Yeah, just to add to it. So that's regular season or just clutch in general?
Yeah, this season.
So to add to that, Jason Tatum, the last 3 years in the playoffs, so all 3 years, so we're not cherry picking here, in the clutch, 46.2% field goal percentage, 45.5% three-point percentage. The highest effective field goal percentage in the playoffs the last 3 years in clutch situations. And he's the number one at like overall at 57.4 effective field goal percentage in the playoffs. So that ranks him number one.
It's pretty good. I guess Boston Radio Watch picked up on that.
On what? You getting into it with the caller there? It's good. I enjoyed it.
Hey, let's get those ratings up. Wait, a 25 to 54 demo. We got to raise that one up a little bit more. That was great. Great. Thank you, Boston Radio Watch. I know you listen every night. Now I'm pissed. I was pissed. All right. Well, we talked to Taylor Twellman earlier today. We'll let you hear that audio coming up in a bit. And I should share this one more time. I've gotten word that potentially there might be something going on with Jaden Daniels and his agent. I've saw this earlier today, but I can talk about it. But Ron Butler, I believe, and I'm reading this from. I saw this earlier today, and I know Skaz, you just dropped this in a. But Jaden Daniels' agent is not a fan of the Commanders. And he was not a fan of bringing in all 4 quarterbacks together for their visit. And he went public about it. And I'm curious if this hurts his Jaden Daniels draft stock with Washington.
It should hurt this guy's agency. What are you doing?
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, this is as bad of a look as you can have for an agent. You're upset because the teams are doing their homework. How can you be an NFL agent and have that mindset where you're going to undermine a client like that? If I was Jaden Daniels, this guy would be gone.
Imagine if he slipped a 3 because of this. Or Washington does. I did. Okay. Again, I don't have like a source, but I heard that there was some interesting things regarding Jaden Daniels' visit to Washington. And to pile on it, or to add to it, they ended up having all 4, which is somewhat unlikely, right? All 4 quarterbacks at once? Have you heard about that before? So it's just, if there was something there, maybe they're trying to see how he handled all this.
Apparently not well. Where's agents not handling it well?
The betting odds have shifted at Drake May going to Jaden Daniels more likely to go 3. And listen, this stuff happens. It's a week before the draft. We need a little bit of movement, right? A little bit of movement. But, yep, the odds have shifted on that one. Greg's in New Hampshire. Hey, Greg.
Hey, man, I love you, man, but we just can't have Tatum dribble, and then shoot at the end. And I hear you guys, like, with the stats and stuff, but we got to move the ball, and I don't know if that's the coach's fault or Tatum's fault. You guys are right. He's incredible. Tatum is incredible. Number 0. I've been rooting for him for 8 years since my daughter was 4 years old. We used to watch him on TV when he was a rookie.
How old are you?
I'm old like you. I'm 43, going to turn 44. I'm a little older than you.
Thank you.
But I'm saying, like, he's the man. Tatum's the man. But he can't just get at the block and dribble, and shoot. There's got to be a play designed. And hopefully his team's good enough we don't have to worry about it. They're going to smoke through the NBA. They should be good enough with Porzingis, with Brown, with Tatum. They shouldn't have to worry about even having a problem winning the championship this year. But if it's going to come down to clutch, Tatum misses a lot of clutch shots, Joe, and you're the guy I look to in sports talk radio.
Yeah, he's 51% in clutch shooting. Which the
oh
league
my God, he's He's like 0 for 6 this season, and I'm not watching.
The league average is 47%. He's 51%.
Joe, you really want him with the money on the line?
Yes.
And tell me, really, you want, or you want Porzingis?
Yes.
I believe you. I believe you. You're a convicted guy.
I'm not convicted.
I love you, man.
Anything.
You're the man.
No, I appreciate it, but I have.
He's great.
I am standing by the take.
I like it.
Yes,
double take.
I want him to have the ball. This double clutch stat is for dorks.
I've heard you with Felger. I've heard you with every single guy on the radio that's with 98.5 the Sports Hub. It didn't matter if you were on the other stations. You're a convicted guy. You'd say the same thing if you were on EEI. You're the man. That's what I like about you.
Who?
You're the man. Whether it's food, whether it's sports, anything.
Where in New Hampshire are you?
In Manchester.
All right. Good downtown area there, huh?
Yeah. Good food, good Thai. There's a new Thai spot that just opened up. Great food. Me and my wife went out there the other day. Great food.
What do you like?
Like I was saying, the producer, you're a man of your convictions. That's what I like about you.
What kind of Thai food? What's your favorite?
Massiman curry, my wife likes. I'm more of a pad thai guy.
Oh, I love pad thai.
Yeah.
Oh.
My wife wants to kill me. I wolfed down the leftovers last night. She wants to kill me because she wanted a bite of it, and I wolfed it down.
No, you were like, this chicken pad thai is mine.
Yeah, my $1.80, 5'8". It didn't get through the fridge on me last night.
So 43, 5'8", $1.80.
Yeah. Ring the bell.
Thanks, Greg. I think we should now do a combine for callers. Size, weight, age.
The caller combine?
Oh, God, no. Oh, God.
Learning a lot tonight, Joe. I didn't know you were convicted.
Never convicted.
Never
convicted. The caller combine. How do we make that work? How do we do that? Caller combine.
We'd need some insurance waivers for that one, I'm sure. I don't know.
No, we'd have to
lot of injuries.
We'd have to make it like real easy, like
yeah. Throwing
Joe, I'm 6'3", 375 pounds, 42 years old, and I can eat a whole bag of chips in 20 minutes. Skaz, your turn.
I'm workshopping back here.
Caller combine. We can work on this one. Yeah, Ryan. I see Ryan already working his brain back there. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll wrap up the show on the other side, and we'll let you hear what Taylor Twellman had to say. And it might not be exactly what you thought we were talking about, but that's the only stuff you get here on the Joe Show here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. You're listening to
Jonathan Kraft. Who are the Patriots selecting with number 3 overall?
By the way, they have no idea. And I don't care what anyone tells you because, by the way, every soundbite you guys play, it changes every 24 hours from that coaching staff. They have no idea what they're doing.
And again, you've looked into the eyes of Jonathan Kraft. Do you think he's involved with who they pick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, we should just have you on more often just to ask you direct, we get transparent answers from you. It's very different.
I think because of the Brady and the Belichick thing, Joe, why wouldn't he want to be involved? They need to get this right. They need to get it right. They're desperate to get it right, especially when your ticket prices are what they are in the NFL. This city's used to winning. You got to get this right. Why wouldn't the owner be involved? I think you'd be nuts not to be.
All right, we had Taylor Twellman on earlier. They'll be calling the Messi, Lionel, Pele. He'll be calling that game next Saturday. What you didn't hear there was I asked him, do you think they're going to go with the college champion or a draft and development guy? Because that was their words today. He hinted J.J. McCarthy, right? You don't have to find that. We're going home. But he hinted it. He hinted J.J. McCarthy. That's what he did. He knows. He knows them. I got to give Twellman credit for this one tonight. He defended the Krafts for some things and was critical for others. I thought it was very transparent. He talked about the new stadium. He said within the next 15 years, which doesn't make it sound like it's happening anytime soon, but it's the furthest they've gone. But I had to ask. This guy knows them. And the number one thing I took away was Jonathan Kraft will be involved. And I've been saying it all along. And we got breaking news confirmation tonight from someone whose number is retired throughout the Kraft organization. He is a made man when it comes to the Krafts, Taylor Twellman. And he thinks they're going to go with potentially a guy that was a winner and a champion at the college level. What was your brother's text?
4 McDoubles in 5 minutes. You think someone can do it?
We'll talk to you guys tomorrow on 98.5 The Sports.
WBCFM and Bust on the Town Fair Tire.